It's spooky. It's spooky.
Hey there, spooky friends. Welcome to another episode of Storytime with the Scaryish podcast. I'm Robin Grace. This is Adam Diaz.
Hello.
And we're here for Homegrown Horrors.
Indeed we are. We're a little bit off-center, which we're on one camera again, which is nice to see. So I'm going to try and scooch in a way that makes us look right. So I think we just need to turn a little bit. I'm going to make this go in, make this go back, make this go down.
My hair is like a hot mess.
Robin decided the best pre-show setup was to nap until 3:57.
Yeah.
So fun times. I got up and got ready.
It's my weekend. My weekends are the days that I get to sleep in.
Robin's weekend and only Robin's. So I'm going to scooch yours inside. There we go. All right. I think we're good to go. So before we get into the whole intro, I want to let everyone that's watching live right now know how things are going to go tonight. So if you haven't noticed already, the title is Storytime number 199 and Storytime number 200, because we're going to be doing two full episodes of Storytime. So we're going to do three homegrown horrors. One of them's very long. And then we're going to do sign out, all that fun stuff. And then we're going to flow right into the next episode. So we'll do marbles after both episodes. So you guys are here because we're going to take next week and the week after off so we can just sort of relax and chill out a bit. It has been a very hectic summer. Like the last 6 or 7 weeks have been fucking all go, no stop, balls to the wall. Culminating with San Diego Comic-Con, which was exhausting.
Super exhausting.
My toe, remember I told you my toe hurts a little bit?
Yeah.
It is completely black and blue now. The nail is. So just
Did
so
someone
much walking. I don't remember anyone stepping on my feet, but they just hurt so fucking bad by the end of that event. So that's what we're looking at. So we're going to move it back over into the intro into what Storytime is. Start off with the first email, and then we'll look over into our stream chat and read what you wonderful folks have to say. Sound good?
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Going to mark it, and I'm going to do my normal thing. All right. So we're going to be doing this episode of Storytime number 199. Pretty excited for that. Usually Robin's like, Adam, what's a homegrown horror? Homegrown horrors are the wonderful stories that you have sent us via email, Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. I think it's called X now or some shit. No one knows what Elon's doing anymore. But either way, it's a story that you had, a family member or friend that was okay to be sent to us and okay to be shared on the podcast. That's supernatural, paranormal, extraterrestrial, true crime, spiritual, or just coincidental in nature where you thought it was one of those things and turned out it was totally benign. Those ones are usually really funny. But yeah, they come from you, the wonderful listener, and we sincerely appreciate them. So pretty excited to be going back into a Storytime mode for the next couple weeks. We're doing this one, and then next week we're also going to have Storytime number 200, the big 200. So hope you're excited for that too.
I can't believe we've done 200 of them.
I know. So
but I guess we might have said that about doing 200 episodes of the normal topics too.
We definitely did.
Crazy.
I still can't believe we've gone through as many as we have. But let's get through Storytime number 199. Do you want to go first or should I?
I'll go. Nah, you go first.
Okay, cool. This first one subject is, you can read this on the podcast, in parentheses. After typing this out, I want to add that this is sad, in parentheses.
No.
Uh-oh. Starting off with a sad one, but I guess it's better than ending with a sad one.
Yeah.
So, here we go.
But what if it does end with a sad one? We just don't know yet.
Yeah, I will say, Spooky Mom has proofread these, and she didn't give me any feedback on them, which usually means they're good. So, hopefully they won't shatter our hearts and they're not all sad, but let's see, okay? This first one starts out like this. Hey, Adam and Robin.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Shandon. Hello, Shandon. I posted the picture about spring break from Utah in the Discord and talked about how it's a great time to binge some episodes, and they've made me want to talk about a, quote, helping hand. I don't know what else to call it. From the day my great-grandmother passed away. Just a little background on my great-grandma. She was probably the number one person that wanted me to be successful. In school, so she... Weird little abbreviation there. To be successful in school, so she would always ask me about my grades whenever I saw her. Since I did the lawn care at her house from the age of about 8ish until I was 18, I saw her every weekend. I would always listen to 21 Pilots when I did her lawn, so now whenever I listen to them, I think of her. It's funny because I totally had a playlist that I used to listen to on my iPod Touch back in the day when I used to cut my parents' lawn in college.
Yeah.
So anytime those songs come on, I'm just like, oh man, I feel like I'm on the riding mower all over again.
There's the album from Panic at the Disco that I bought when you were living in Arizona and I was driving back and forth, and I would just keep listening to that same album on that drive.
So just remind you that road trip.
Yeah, that album, any song from that album reminds me of that.
Every time I hear Make Damn Sure or Ocean's Avenue, those two songs were definitely on my playlist when I used to cut the lawn. So every time I hear I'm just like, oh man, I'm in the Midwest. It's really hot and I'm sweaty and gross right now. So I totally empathize with this. Getting back to it. I'm 23 now and finally decided to get a tattoo of the band as a way of remembering her, even though she was a devout member of the LDS church and would have beat my ass if she saw I had tattoos now. That's funny, but I totally understand the tribute. Anyways, here's the story. It was my senior year in high school, and it was the week before I graduated. More specifically, 5 days before.
Oh, wow.
And me and my friends were doing what all good students do. We ditched class to go get food.
Okay.
Yes, I love it. As we were deciding who was going to drive, I offered because I drove an early 2000s SUV, and there were only 5 of us, and it would be... Sorry, my throat started croaking a little bit there. And there were only 5 of us, and it would be a comfortable ride. But for whatever reason that day, we decided to take 2 cars instead of 1, which I came to be very thankful for, which we've never taken 2 cars before in the past. So we get to the restaurant, and my friends are ordering. I get a call from my mom telling me that my great-grandma had fallen, and it was looking pretty bad. So I tell my friends I have to go before I order, and left, which I would not have been able to do if we only had 1 car. I was able to go. I'll say this, though. If that happened to me, same thing happened to me, I'd be like, guys, you're finding a fucking ride. I gotta go. Like, my great-grandma's hurt.
Yeah.
So, and I think they would have been fine with it and figured it out. But I understand why you're thankful that you didn't have to, like, put anyone in that position. But I will keep going. I was able to get back to my school and pull my brother out of class and head to the hospital. How I was not pulled over for going 90 and a 70, I attribute to that quote-unquote helping hand. By the time we... Robin's coconut water just like... sounded like a predator sitting next to me. By the time we got to the hospital, about 30 family members were already there. All kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. I was lucky enough to go into the room she was in and see her and be with her... And see her and be with her for her last few minutes of her life.
Oh, wow.
I consider myself a manly man, in parentheses, not really, LOL. But I only show my true emotions to a few people, but I've never cried harder before in my life than when I heard her take her last breath. Looking back at it now, there had to be some sort of helping hand. I don't know if it was my great-grandpa, in parentheses. He passed away when I was about 3, so I only have faint memories of him. Letting me see her one last time, but if I had been held up for just a few minutes along the way, I would not have gotten to the hospital in time to see her and be with her. I'm not a religious person, and I am a skeptic for most things supernatural. In parentheses, insert Robin talking about the show, LOL. It's funny that you put that in there. I think it's too emotional of a moment for us to break in with a tangent, though. I truly felt that her spirit was there with me on my graduation day. Thanks for everything you guys do and for the community that has grown around you guys that lets people feel comfortable enough to share things like this with others.
I'm glad you felt comfortable enough to share that. I think when it does come to speeding sometimes, you know, you shouldn't speed. But
she says that as a person who always speeds.
But when it's something important like this, I think, you know, when I do speed, I always have that fear that I'm going to get pulled over, even if it's like 80, you know.
I've definitely chilled out when it comes to speeding. Like, I used to speed all the time, but now that I'm older, I like go like 8 to 9 over the speed limit, and then I put it on cruise control. So I'm just like, there's no reason for me to rush because I don't have an emergency like that. And if I see someone rushing, I used to always assume they were just an asshole, like Robin. Nowadays, I just assume like, oh, they're having a bad day, they're late to work, or they're on their way to the hospital, or something like that. And I try not be that judgmental unless they're driving so recklessly that it could like cause an accident.
Yeah, because you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely understand that helping hand thing too, because when my grandfather passed away, I was the last person to talk to him. My mom, my dad, myself, and my brother, we went into the hospital room, and he was like, he had a stroke, and he collapsed in the street. They got him to the hospital. He was still very confused. He thought he was laying in the street, and he didn't understand why no one would pick him up. So we were trying to explain to him, you're in the hospital. And when I got to see him, everyone had been trying to convince him, like, you're in the hospital, you're in the hospital. And I didn't know what to say, so I was just like, hi, Grandpa. And my grandpa goes, hi, Adam. And that was the last thing he said. So, like,
are you for real?
Yeah, 100%. He went into a coma after that. He passed out, he went into a coma, and then a few days later he passed away. But I very distinctly remember, like, everyone trying to convince him he was in the hospital. I was like, he doesn't get it. Like, just say hi, like, let him know we're around him. But I remember being, like, really, really thankful that I got to say something to him before he passed away.
Were you like crying when you said it?
I was pretty numb. I was just like, what is happening right now? Like, I understood something was wrong. I had heard the word stroke before. Didn't know exactly what it was. But seeing him so confused, it was just like very jarring, you know? So I wasn't like crying or anything. But eventually I did have like a complete breakdown. But yeah, it was a little bit different for me. But I understand that idea of like, if anything during that day had like prevented us from getting to that hospital, which was St. Catherine's, forever burned in my brain. It would have been completely different. I wouldn't have gotten to say anything to my grandfather before he passed away. And I think we were some of the last people to get there, too, because we live so far away.
Wow.
So,
well, I'm glad you got to see your grandma before she passed away.
Indeed. So thank you so much for sharing that story. And if anyone has stories out there like that, that they would like to share, feel free to do so. Because even though they are, emotional to read, we do read them. We get them often. And I think other people feel more comfortable sharing stories like that because of it. So thank you one more time, Shandon. All right. That's the end of the first one. Starting out super strong. What?
It says chill it, don't spill it.
It's good advice. I thought you were showing me the hole that had teeth in it, and I was just like, no. That looks so disturbing. All right.
Yeah, they put your dick in.
Not doing it. Wouldn't fit anyways.
Jesus.
Scrolling up
I like
to
that's
the
what
tippy
you think
top.
about.
You just showed me a hole. That's all I know. So, okay, cool. First person here was Faye. Said, hello. What up, Faye? Thank you for joining us. Hope everything's well with you. Snark is also here. Said, hey, everyone. I believe the Snark is currently in Denver.
I think they're currently on their way here.
I think it says we are on our way to the airport next, so you are correct.
Mm-hmm.
Glitch said, woo.
We're not here. I said here like it's Vegas. Here as in
Yeah,
Vegas.
I do that sometimes, too. Yeah. I refer to Vegas as here. Cool. Lots of other folks. Kami Raccoon, don't know if that's how you say that, but you're over there on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Blanca Bella is also over there. Says, hello. It's been a long time since I've seen a live. It has been since May 11th, apparently.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's been 2.5 months.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
For sure. So it is a hard thing to do a show when we haven't gotten an email in 2 months, but we did have some in the backlog and we were tired of sitting on them.
Colossal. Oh, sorry.
The idea was we would do story time so that we could take a break, and now that we're ready to take a break, we're like, let's do this thing. So, all right.
Colossal Alex says it's their first live stream. We hope we're not disappointing, because it's been a long time. It's been a really long time since we've done any live stream of any type, whether that's gaming or.
This is true.
Yeah, and I'm tired. I don't know. It's been a long time since we've done a live show, and I just feel like tired.
We have a lot more to go.
Oh, geez.
So we have 6 emails, and 2 of them are long.
Baller.
So, all right, what else do we got here? Right, lots. IMB Trainer has joined us as well. Gonna keep scrolling. Yesenia's over there on YouTube. Says, woo, hi. Haven't been here in a while.
Aw, Faye
We also haven't been here in a while.
They're on vacation in the Oregon coast.
Oh, nice.
Oregon. Wait, don't they live there now?
They live in Oregon, but there's other parts of Oregon.
Okay.
So, all right, gonna keep scrolling. Snark says, I have Larry and Vivian in the car with me, all excited too. What up, Larry? What up, Viv? Oh my God. Sherry Sue says, hi. What up, Sherry Sue? Thank you for joining us.
Hello. I saw that you're going to have surgery. Hopefully it goes quick and well, and
indeed,
that your pain gets fixed.
Seriously, I hope everyone's feeling better and feeling good soon. I'm gonna keep scrolling here. People are remarking on the battles that were happening in Intro Fighters before we got going. Gonna keep scrolling.
The Snark says, apparently I'm a Dragoon. That is my class in Final Fantasy 14.
Oh yeah, it totally is.
Yeah.
You're getting there. And then what do you have to be level 30 before you can specialize into it in 2 different classes?
Yeah.
Man, that fucking game is a lot of work, yeah. All right, Snark says, apparently we're thinking about moving out here now. LOL. That's nice. I will say I've never been there, and I definitely need to visit at some point. But there's a lot of things I do miss about Vegas, and there's a lot of things I don't miss about Vegas. So you have to really weigh those pros and cons. But yeah, keep us posted on that decision.
Vegas is hot, and there's no water, so you might as well move.
Yeah, Vegas is running. I shouldn't say running out of water. They had a very wet season, which has been helpful. But it's it's getting lower, and that's always scary. But right now, the property values are super high in Vegas, so all the more reason if you're going to leave to make that decision soon. I'm What's for Dinner says, I still want them to put out merch that says, you don't know the elasticity of my anus. It was one of Adam's best quotes. I don't even remember saying that, but it sounds like something I'd say.
It's because I said you couldn't put something in your butt, and you said, yes, I can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she shouldn't question what I can do with my butt. Faye says, Denver is such a cool place. I'm Beef Trainer says, everyone else is coming in with only a fist. Yeah, there was a lot of folks just fighting it out, and I saw a few folks showing up with a spear and stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. All right, gonna keep scrolling. Cherry Stu says, my spinal cord stimulator surgery is Tuesday. I'll be out of work for 2 weeks. I'm so excited. Hi, guys. Great to see you. 4 weeks, not 2. Oof, 4 weeks is a long time, but hopefully that goes well. So
I don't know what I would do stuck at home for 4 weeks doing nothing. It'd be like the pandemic all over again. I'd like learn to make bread again or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep scrolling here. On Beef Trainer says, I like Robin's hair. It's not messy.
Thanks.
She did a good job of napping and somehow getting up and being like ready to go. I had to take a shower as soon as I woke up. I was like, I look like a fucking crazy person right now.
My bangs are kind of like
banging.
No, they're a little.
I think they look really good. She got a really, really good haircut recently, and she came home. I was just like, oh my god, is that Robin? Yeah,
one of my friends coworkers. She came back from a vacation, and I was walking to the kitchen to get coffee, and she's like, "Who is that?"
That's so adorable.
I'm like, girl, it's me.
New hair. Just so you guys know, I am going to be drinking an alcoholic beverage today. I am drinking a snake bite, which looks like mostly bite.
How are you going to drink it? It's like, to me, it looks like you're going to be drinking Guinness, and then
for a while.
Towards the end of the show is when you'll finally get to the actual.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen. So, yeah, I'm going to start that now. I'll let you do some reading. Glitch just ready to drink. Yes, sir.
All right, let's see. Snark says Denver is a cool little city. Lots of people are saying good luck to Sherry Sue about her surgery.
It has still a little bit of a taste of that cider at the bottom of it. So.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty good.
Did you like just pour it in?
I poured the cider in it completely, and then I used a spoon like right above where the cider was, and poured the Guinness on the spoon so it wouldn't all mix, so it'd be like separate colors. It's still mixed. The spoon is not ideal for doing that, and it's a very deep hole I was pouring into because this is a very tall mug.
Tell me more about the deep
very
hole.
Girthy hole too, so I could fit a spoon in there, but it was like at an angle of the dangle rather than like being flat. So I could have like just bent it up and just had it be my like snake bite spoon forever. But anyways, let's get back to reading what you guys
take another drink.
Oh, thank you, Captain Fay Guy. One more.
Let's see. I am Beef Trainer says, saw the baby bump. You look so cute and glowing. Oh man, when I saw that 30-week bump update,
I still haven't seen the bump update.
Really?
Yeah. So I definitely need to go into my social medias and check out and see where this is at.
Yeah, she's got like 2 more months.
All I do when I communicate with Faye is it's usually in the Twats group chat in Instagram, and I just send a bunch of Lord of the Rings memes. So.
Why, if it's the Twats chat, why is it a bunch of Lord of the Rings memes?
Because no one gives a shit about Wheel of Time, and there's no memes for it. That's why. I saw a lot of elves. I didn't see many Galadriels. I think I saw one at Comic-Con. Most of what I saw was Spider-Man. Obviously, across
so many Spider-Man.
Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, whatever the newest one was, is very influential in that. But I saw exactly 0 people cosplaying Wheel of Time, which is super depressing.
It would have been cute to see someone like dressed up as Lan.
It would have been cool to see anyone dressed up as like a novice or like any of the people from the White Tower, but you haven't really seen them yet, so it'd just be book canon, and no one really does anything they haven't seen in the show. So there's I saw someone that I thought was Moraine. I was just like staring at them. I was like, no, like she's probably from something else, and she didn't have like the headpiece or anything. So I was just like, stop trying to make this happen. Stop trying to make fetch happen, Adam.
All right, I forgot I had a mouse on this side.
You do, indeed.
Let's see. Faye says, still feeling good at 7.5 months, but definitely slowing down. Yeah, I would too. 30 weeks. Dang.
I just redeemed Glitch's second drink. I'm gonna do one for me now. Adam redeems a drink.
We're still trying. It's getting difficult. Mentally.
Mentally, yeah.
Let's see.
Robin's just reading these to herself instead of out loud. This is what she thinks passes for good podcasting.
I'm Beef Trainer says, for my friends and family, final 2 weeks or so aren't bad, mainly because you're just ready to have a baby come and still want to nest, but your body's like, you gotta rest. Wait. One of my, was it one of my coworkers? Somebody I know, they worked until they popped that baby out.
I remember that. I remember when that happened. We're just like, why are they not taking their maternity yet?
Yeah.
I'm What's Winter says, everybody get ready to be owned in all 4 marbles races. I'm feeling speedy. Well, we're doing marbles after the show. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing 4 in honor of the fact that we did 2 episodes, but we'll consider it. Something to consider while we have 5 more emails to go. So
let me just read the next
let's just blaze through these.
There's so many.
All right, IMB Trainer says, how's Watson taking becoming a big brother? Faye says, I don't think he understands. He did get spooked once while we were cuddly because the fetus kicked him really hard. What's Trainer says, he probably thinks he has another tiny servant that he has to train. That's so funny. Snark says, I gotta save my phone battery for the plane. See y'all later. Thank you for joining us for a little bit, Snark. We appreciate you. Fly a safe. IMB Trainer says, he probably thought, what the hell was that? And what did I do? Yeah, the baby kicking out of nowhere will probably freak it out. Freak out Watson, that is. Yesenia says, that is sad. And this is in regards to the email we read. 4SP Biz says, what up? How are you? Maricela says, hello. Common Raccoon says, no problem, I love your podcast. I listen to it when I sleep, and also, it's my first live. Well, congratulations for joining us for your first live. We appreciate you being here. I am Beatrice says, so I want to thank Spooky Fam, and especially Adam and Robin for helping me get through working night shifts. I'm glad to say I'm not doing night shifts anymore. Going 4 to 5 days without sleep is something I can't do anymore while trying to get my body trained to sleep during the day. We're glad that we can help out, for sure. Sherry Sue says, thanks, Adam and Robin. Anytime. We do what we can. Unbeatrice says, sadly, I'm job hunting still, but I just couldn't physically continue abusing my health and mental status. I totally understand. Common Raccoon says, I listen on Spotify, so shout out to Spotify. Actually, Glitch said shout out to Spotify, so that worked out really well. All right. 4SP Biz says, what have I tuned into? Anal elasticity and girthy holes? Yeah, it was an awkward moment. I apologize. You joined at just the right time. And Glitch Grim says to IMB Trainer, you got this. Keep job hunting. You will find what you're looking for. All right. Glitch says, Snakebite is a layer, drink half and half. Mixes when you drink it. It's so good. Yeah, when you tip it, like it's supposed to mix a little bit because this glass is tall. I didn't think that would be exactly what was happening, but it's
usually a pint glass.
Yeah, this is two beer bottles. There's 2 full bottles. There's one of
in one cup.
Angry Richard, one of Guinness in 1 cup. So because this cup is huge and I can do that. Face says, currently fun employed as well, IMB Trainer.
What?
Because she moved.
But I thought you moved, but you had a job set up in the other place?
Yeah, I thought you had a job lined up, but we can figure that out, or you can talk to us about it right now.
Yeah, or later, whatever.
Either way. Very curious. All right, we're going to stop right there. Stop it. Look what you did. Look what you made me do. Damn it. Everything's ruined now. All right. Right there. Okay. I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and Faye gave us an answer. Well, I have a job in September, LOL, but currently fun employed.
Nice.
Right on. Cool. Isn't September like when you're ready to pop?
All
right, so here's the deal. This next one is the long one. So I would recommend Robin scroll down on it.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to read the first 2.
Through the ghost in the hallway. Come back after the commercial break.
And then do the other
and the outro.
One. No, this one's too long. This should be... No, its own. Let's see. Let's do...
I like how she finally decides to participate in the production of the show during the show.
I'll do... Okay, I think this should be 1. This section is 1. This section is another 1.
And then you're going to leave the last one off entirely?
And then this section will be 1.
Me?
Wait, I haven't read 1 yet.
I get that. You just left off the last part of this email. So this should be 1, this should be 1, this should be 1. That's 3 separate readings.
Yeah, and then you read this one.
Okay, how about I read the middle?
Okay.
How about I read whatever is left? So, okay.
So you can read these 2.
I told her exactly how this was going to go, and she was fine with it. And now she looks at it, and she's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, so you can read these 2.
Scroll up.
I'll read
You're going to read through what? Just the presence in my bedroom?
Yeah.
Then I read the ghost in the hallway and the shadow in the shower curtain.
Yeah. And then I'll do this one.
Okay.
Got it?
Sure.
Cool. Okay.
So you should probably explain that we have a really long email and it's going to be the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
That's what's happening, everyone. We called an audible. So I'm going to mark this, and Robin's going to go ahead and do that fun stuff. Marked. Nope, didn't work. Marked. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So this next email that we have here is pretty darn long. And there's a bunch of stories within this email. So we're going to split it up. I'm going to read one of the stories. Adam's going to read the next 2. Then I'm going to read the final story.
Yeah, and that's going to be the rest of the show.
Yes.
So after Robin's part, we're going to take our normal commercial break, come back. I'm going to read the middle part of this email, and then I'll pass it on to Robin. She'll read the last part of the email, and then we'll say thank you and good night.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Take it away.
All right. So, hello, Adam and Robin.
Hello.
And spooky friends.
Oh, shit. Everyone yell hello.
Hello. Hold on. Someone's calling me.
Robin's just too cool for her own fucking podcast nowadays, y'all.
Sorry. Okay.
What game is it you have running?
Twisted Wonderland.
Yeah, Twisted Wonderland runs in the background of our show in case anyone was wondering. In case anyone out there's a Wonderland maniac or whatever they call them. So she is too.
Okay. I heard about your show from my daughter. You may know her as Trash Panda 17,
what up,
which
Trash
we
Pandas?
do. I listen to you guys every day on my way to and from work. That's so sweet. I enjoy it all. I especially like hearing all of the Storytime episodes, mostly because I'm hoping to hear similar encounters to mine. Also, it's just cool to hear that Robin also grew up in Hawaii, where I was born and raised.
Nice.
Yeah, I definitely grew up there. Spent my entire childhood up until I was like 16 there. So yeah, definitely grew up there. I was encouraged by my daughter to share my childhood ghost encounters on the podcast, so here they are. Especially in Hawaii, you know, there's a lot of stuff there. I think there's a lot of energy there. I definitely experienced more like night terrors and scary things happen to me in Hawaii than when I moved anywhere else.
Right.
So I think since we've moved here to California, I haven't had anything. You know, knock on wood. Hope that's real wood. On wood.
I think that came through in the recording too.
But yeah, I think Hawaii has a lot of energy there.
For sure.
And maybe it's because you're surrounded by water. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was encouraged by my daughter to... Wait, did I already read that?
Yup. Oh, sorry, guys. I almost fell asleep from boredom there. Ow! My titty!
I was encouraged by my daughter to share my childhood ghost encounters on the podcast, so here they are. There are a lot of them, but not all of them. Sorry if this ends up being really long. Feel free to break these up, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for sharing.
And we're doing that, too.
A little bit of background for the setting. Our house is in the mountains on Oahu.
Can you describe Oahu to those of us
that's
who are
where
not?
Honolulu is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. There is a valley in the... It's the main city.
Okay, I don't know. I know of Hawaii and Honolulu, and then I know that you're from Maui, and your town specifically was Lahaina, right?
Yeah.
Do you want me to take all that out? Do you give a shit?
It's already on the fucking live stream.
Yeah, it exists out
Just
there,
shut
so
up.
Whatever. She's so mean, dude. This is why I want her to wake up a little bit, because when she wakes up from her nap, she's always cranky.
Why are you holding your boob?
Because I don't trust you not to slap my titty again. That hurt.
There's a valley in the back of the house. But my house had a valley in the back of it, too.
That's cool.
Yeah. We would have mongoose or other wildlife wander through because of the valley foliage in the back. There were so many weird things happening in my parents' house. I'm telling you, there's just energy there. Almost everyone in the house experienced something. But most of the weird things happened to me. So this first story is titled The Presence in My Bedroom, which already freaks me out because I think people staring at you while you're sleeping is creepy.
I do it to her all the time. She doesn't even know.
What the fuck?
It's like that scene in Paranormal Activity where like the chick gets up and like stands next to him on the side of the bed for like 3 hours. I do that, but I'm just waiting for her to wake up, hoping she'll freak out. She never does.
You have scary stare eyes.
Do I?
Yeah, like when you do your face where you look like you're staring.
I can't do it right now.
I hate it.
I'm smiling too much.
I hate it. In the middle of the night, I woke up and I couldn't move my arms or my legs, and my chest felt as though it was being compressed to the point where I could hardly breathe. Then a deep, raspy voice said, "Are you alone?" Wait, hold on. Wait.
This.
Are you alone?
That's pretty good.
I don't have a deep voice, so. But I said no.
You want me to try it?
Yeah.
Are you alone?
Fuck you. You're the worst.
Are you alone?
That was not bad.
All right, cool.
I said no, and I knew that I needed to get out of there. But I was still being pressed to my bed. I kept trying to sit up, wiggle out, but I couldn't move. At some point, I was finally able to roll out of bed. Once I hit the floor, I tried to run for my door, but as soon as I touched the doorknob, a force flung me back, and I landed on my butt 5 feet from the door. That's horrifying.
This is terrifying.
It's like some poltergeist shit.
Seriously.
I then crawled towards my door and reached for the knob again. Somehow, I was able to get the door open. I ran to the living room where my mom was, and upon seeing me, she asked what was wrong. I couldn't speak at first or catch my breath from working so hard to get out of my room. I was sweating, shaking, panting, and my heart was beating a mile a minute. I told her what happened, and she immediately put a rosary around my neck and started saying the Our Father prayer. I stayed in the living room to calm down and fall back asleep so that I would be carried back to bed. I did not want to go back into my room that night on my own volition.
Fuck yeah, I'd be like, I'm not sleeping in that room ever again.
I went to Catholic school, obviously.
How is that obvious?
If you've been with us for a long time, you know I've gone.
If you
Catholic
recall,
school,
I think it's the thing Robin's trying
yeah, that's
to
what
say.
I mean. But that, so the Our Father prayer, things like that. I've gone on missions to different islands before.
You were a missionary?
I mean, they have it's not necessarily like a mission. We went on like a trip to one of the other islands. I wish I remembered which one it was. I think it was Molokai, maybe. It's one of the other islands where there was like where they kept all of the leprosy patients.
Okay. You're trying to convert lepers? Is that what you're telling me?
No. But it was like something where we went to all these different churches there. So the island that they used to keep all the lepers at, there's like a whole bunch of churches, and we went to all the different churches and stuff there. And
so you weren't trying to convert anyone?
We didn't try to convert anyone.
So it was more like a pilgrimage. You were a pilgrim.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
That was pretty cool. But so like that's what that kind of, the rosary, things like that, that's what that reminds me of, is like going through all of that.
Right.
When I used to live in Hawaii, because that's where I went.
It reminds me a lot of one of Mondo's stories that I don't know if he actually told it on the podcast, that he told me privately and decided not to share, I think, of just a similar situation where something very creepy happened. He had an older relative there, and they used rosary beads and they said a prayer, to like combat whatever was going on. So I think that's a pretty common reaction for folks who are, deeply religious, seeing something terrifying or supernatural happen. Is to be like, this is the main arrow I got in my quiver, and I'm about to fire this shit off to try and prevent this from whatever's happening. So definitely terrifying, and we have 3 more stories to go.
Yeah.
So.
But it's terrifying. This one scares me just because, like, I feel it, being from Hawaii, I just feel it.
Right on. So before we get to the next ones, though, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Which isn't actually happening. We're going to keep going. Glitch did redeem one more drink. I also forgot to give shout-outs for the folks who did stuff. Hang on. That one's for you, Glitch. Anyways, Simon...
It looks like you're just taking sips.
Excuse me. Simone Xrez followed us 13 days ago.
I can smell the Guinness.
Yeah. Faye resubscribed for the 13th month in a row and 43 month overall and said,
wow.
Also, I'm What's for Dinner resubscribed for the 42nd month and said, redeem silly voice. I will do a silly voice. Oh, I did one already. I did the ghost voice. We're definitely not gonna read an email in a silly voice. So, maybe I'll just tell a story later and I'll do a silly voice for you. But all right, I'll bring us back and I'll read the. Stop fucking with the mouse. I'm gonna turn your mouse off. Why are you peeking ahead? You can't look at those because we're not reading those yet. I'm about to read the ghost in the hallway and the shadow in the curtain.
Wait, why aren't we reading it yet?
All right, everyone. Robin wants to read the stream chat, so I'm just going to let her read the stream chat.
Let's see. People are talking about being fun employed. Glitch says he's currently working while watching. Ooh, naughty. I'm What's for Dinner says, just ordered a physical copy of Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. What is that?
Says, I'm excited to play Final Fantasy 1 through 6.
Oh,
I'm guessing it's the remake of Final Fantasy 1
I
through 6.
want to get the new Katamari on Switch. I really want
Get
it. It's like $30. I don't have $30 to buy another Switch game.
She's full of shit. She totally does.
No, I'm not.
This is Robin's bullshit, y'all. All right. So we had San Diego Comic-Con, obviously a very expensive thing to do. At the end of it, we're like figuring out stuff. And at some point, I had paid for something, and 2 of the folks we were with, Marsha and George. Marsha is here, and George is her fiance. Was the host last week or whatever. And so they gave me $40. They're like, we know it's expensive, take $40. I'm like, no. They're like, yeah. I was like, all right, fine. So I had 20 of it left, and Robin looks at me. She goes, you still have 20, right? And this is the end of the thing. I was like, yeah, I do. She's like, give it to me. I'm going to deposit it. I was like, oh, all right. I guess I'm going to give you my $20. And then earlier today, she tells me she had 100 in her wallet. I'm like, you have 100 in your fucking wallet, and you took my $20 bill from me.
Because at dinner, you want to know how much it costs?
No. What dinner?
that lunch that we had at the Italian restaurant?
Like $260, right?
It's like almost $300.
Yeah, but you took $20 from me.
Yeah, I needed to deposit it because fuck, I needed to pay the credit card.
So full of shit. My money's the only money she'll take. But anyways, I was just like, this bitch. All right, gonna keep scrolling.
It's not. It was that lunch or dinner was not just for 2 people. Okay, we did not spend $300.
It was 5 people. We had drinks,
it was a lot of
apps,
people.
and entrees. Flowery says, Oahu family over here. What up? Keep on scrolling.
Most people that I meet are always from Oahu.
Really?
I never meet anybody from Maui, I swear. Like, no one.
Kami Raccoon says, not big on drinks. We have a lot of friends who don't drink, so totally understand. Glitch Grim says, nah, hashtag bye, Ashley. And B Tran says, just curious, how's everybody faring for this heat wave? Doing all right. Staying inside mostly, though.
Yeah, and when I walk outside, it's to my car, and then I get into my car, and then I go to work.
It was nice having several days down in San Diego, because even though it was hot, it was like 80 degrees at its hottest, because it's like right there on the ocean. But it was humid. It was humid.
So my clothes were like pasted to my body.
It was so funny. We had one day where it was windy and overcast, and like Marsha had straightened her hair, and we're standing in line for the first thing, and I noticed she was upset. I was like, why are you upset? She's like, my bangs are curling. And like throughout the line, we could just see her bangs going from like straight like, and she was like ready to cry. She's like, Robin, can you do my bangs? It was so fucking funny. All right, gonna keep scrolling. IMB Trans says, I can imagine how awful it is there in Texas. We're swimming in humidity here in the Ohio Valley. Yeah, dude, Texas got to be bad. Glitch said, dying. It's awful here. My yard is dead. I am sad. I worked hard on it. Yeah, our front yard is starting to
get
wilt.
crispy.
And I'm watering that thing as often as I'm supposed to, so. Faces, come to the Pacific Northwest. It's great and not that hot. It's a pretty good sell, not gonna lie. Pretty appealing.
I told my mom if I moved anywhere, because she was like, are you sure you guys want to stay in California? And I was like, I'm here. I want to work towards retirement, but if I moved anywhere, it'd probably be like Portland, Oregon,
Pacific Northwest area.
Seattle, something like that.
Which says, yeah, the humidititties is awful here. It's swamp ass season. LOL.
Swass.
IMB Trans says, I do want to visit the Pacific Northwest, and Faye offered to host, preferably before October or after like February, LOL. IM Trans says, can I request you read my own homegrown horror in a silly voice when I send it in, or do you not want to appear disrespectful, even at author's request? I would read it on the live show for you how you wanted me to, but I'd have to re-record it to release, because we get
people who are like,
we get review bombed.
Yeah,
we get people that are like, these guys are such fucking assholes, they're so disrespectful. And I don't want to go through all that shit again. IMB Trans says, to Glitch, I may have to steal that from you. The humidititties, that's a great saying. It's nipply for when it's cold and the nips hardened and point. Kami Raccoon says, I just got a new keycap set, and it's matcha green with some special food keys.
I've been thinking about getting new keys.
You have that escape key that's like a mushroom.
That's from Maple Story. That's the mushroom, the orange mushroom from Maple Story. But I want like cute keys, like actual buttons that look cute.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah,
they sell them, and if you have that like tool to pop the keys off, it is not hard. It takes like 10 minutes to do a full keyboard. Glitch says, the worst part is my AC broke in my car last week. This heat needs to stop. The hottest it's ever been for me where I lived was when I lived down in Bullhead City, Arizona. It was over 117 degrees for like 20 days down there. It was awful. It was so hot, and my car didn't have AC, and my window was stuck in the halfway down position. And it was just like the epitome of how broke I was. And I was also working at GameStop. So I was working like 40, 50. No, I was like 50, 60 hours a week. It was so bad, dude. That was the worst. Those were the dark times for sure.
Working at GameStop were dark times. Yeah.
I'm What's says, yeah, my car has 4-way air conditioning. In other words, all 4 windows roll down. Captain Faye Guy says, it just popped up. It doesn't get super cold here either, but it's pretty gray and rainy in the winter. Kami Raccoon says, always water at sunset because it's coolest and the sun won't boil the grass. Yeah, that's exactly what we do. IMB Trent says, not a fan of gray and rainy. I will say gray and rainy produces like some of the most beautiful landscapes up there though, because when we visited, I didn't really notice that it was gray or rainy, but man, was it lush. It was so fucking nice. Faye says, I would recommend coming between May and October. It's like gorgeous and sunny every day. But winter, when it does snow, which it doesn't very often, people in Portland act like it's the apocalypse when there is less than 2 inches of snow on the ground.
We went in November, and it was pretty wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super wet. The ground was moist most of the time.
Moist. Kami Raccoon says the best part about the keys, it was $12 for a full set on Amazon.
Nice.
All right, you want to stop right there?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Gonna bring us back now. Gonna read 2 of these stories. Get us back in the spooky mood. And we're back. So I have 2 of these stories that I'm going to read. I'm going to pass it off to Robin. The first one of mine and the second one of the email is called The Ghost in the Hallway. And it goes like this. I attended a private school from 1st to 12th grade in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
The private school I went to for my elementary years was so small it didn't even have a cafeteria. So we always brought lunch from home. Sack lunch. Being the oldest daughter, I was always in charge of making the lunches for myself and my siblings. Also, private schools do not have a school bus system in Hawaii, so parents had to drop you off. Thus, we all had to wake up early in order to do all the tasks needed to get ready for school. This included showering, making lunches, etc. And when there's only one shower for 6 people, that means getting up really early. Sometimes getting up that early meant the sun had not risen yet. One early morning, I was in the kitchen making the lunches, and the only lights on in the house were the kitchen lights and my parents' bedroom light down the hall. All my other siblings were still sleeping, and the hallway lights were off. This hallway connected the living room to all the bedrooms, including my parents'. The living room lights were also off at this time. As I was making the sandwiches in the kitchen, I noticed someone wearing pink walking through the hallway towards the living room. My mom owns pink PJs and often wears them, so I thought it was her. I called out to her because I wanted to ask her a question, but she didn't answer me. I called again, and still no answer. I was getting annoyed, so I walked out from the kitchen to the living room to talk to her, but the lights were still off in the living room and there was no one there. So I went to her room thinking, I know she didn't walk back down the hall, so where is she? I found her in her room, sitting at her vanity, putting on her makeup. I asked her why she didn't answer me. She said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I called you when you walked past me through the hall to the living room, but you didn't answer." She said, "I haven't left here." Then I noticed she was wearing white.
Oh, that's creepy.
That is super fucking creepy.
I feel like I see stuff all the time. Like
all
out of
the
corner of my eye. But it's like, you know, it's like how you're like, I swear I saw someone walk into the closet just now. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. There was a moment where I thought I saw someone walking down the hallway, and then Robin came in from a different door, and I was just like, I fucking thought you were over there, and then you came in, and it freaked me out. I just assume it's my mind playing tricks on me.
Yeah, that's what I always put it off to. My eyes are just like tripping.
I'm just so disrespectful to myself when stuff like that happens. Now, it could literally be a ghost trying to make contact with him. Like, I'm just such a stupid asshole, and I just like go back on with my day. So it's probably not that though. It's probably me being a stupid asshole. All right, gonna move on to the next one, and this one is The Shadow in the Shower Curtain. This one sounds like Psycho. I don't know if anyone's ever seen Psycho, but the shower curtain scene is
Psycho
very.
Anymore?
I mean, in like film lit probably. I doubt anyone watches it for funsies, but I mean, it's a good movie. It's a classic. God fucking damn it, Robin.
Sorry.
I mean, bless you.
Sorry.
All right, The Shadow in the Shower Curtain. As I mentioned before, we only had one bathroom with a shower. I don't know why I paused at that. We only had one bathroom with a shower for 6 people. So a lot of times when someone is in the bathrooms, others would barge in because they needed something. For example, if someone is in the shower, others may walk in to use the toilet, brush their teeth, or blow dry their hair.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
I understand it.
I understand it, but
I think our first house, we only had one bathroom. We might have had 2. I'm trying to think back because my memory is very, very foggy about that. But I just remember like needing to use the bathroom and someone being in there and just being like, I'm just gonna fucking go. I'm gonna pick this lock and go in there and just go. Like, and they can deal with the smell afterwards. So yeah, it's rough when you have 6 people for one. Because I'm gonna keep going. Because of all the other weird encounters, I usually played music loudly while I showered in hopes that it would distract my mind. I would not manifest it by thinking about it.
Okay.
That makes sense. One night, as I was showering to get ready to go out with friends, I saw a shadow on the shower curtain. The same type you would see when someone is standing in front of it.
So okay. If this shadow is standing there just staring, that's creepy.
Yeah. At the time, I thought it strange that I didn't hear the door open, but assumed that my loud music had drowned out the sound. The shadow looked like a female with long hair that went past their butt.
No.
My sister had hair that length, and so did many other girls in Hawaii, including the original Islanders.
Okay.
Anyway, since I assumed it was her, she is the only one in the house with hair that length, I was annoyed and said, "Get out! I'm taking a shower!" It's my read. I hope it was accurate. However, there was no answer, and instead I saw the shadow coming closer to the shower.
That's like something out of a horror
I would
movie.
punch that fucking shower curtain, because if it is your sibling trying to fuck with you, you punch him like right in the chest, like back the fuck up. All right, I knew this was because the shadow was getting. I I knew this because the shadow was getting larger on the curtain. I kept saying, get out, but it kept moving closer. So then I whipped open the curtains to cuss her out. When I did, I saw that the bathroom door was closed and there was no one there. I quickly rinsed off and left the bathroom as quickly as possible. That one is super terrifying for sure.
No.
Yeah. I would have freaked the fuck out. I would have tried to like do the punch to the shower curtain, seen there was nothing there, pulled it back, had there be nothing, been like, oh hell no, like it's a demon, and just rinsed off and got the fuck out of there the same as you did. So smart move.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna be turning it back over to Robin for the last part of this email and the last part of the show.
All right. So
nope, we're reading stream chat because this is technically the fourth email. Remember how you did this to me? Doing it to you now. Don't. No.
So stupid.
All right, gonna keep scrolling. We left off on the keys. I'm adorable. All right. I am Beatrice. I admit I'm What's for Dinner and I have still yet to take our honeymoon. September will be 14 years. Perhaps we can mark our 15th with a trip to the Pacific Northwest.
Ooh.
Hint at I'm What's for Dinner. That's a solid hint. I'm What's for Dinner says, I don't like drizzly rain, but I love a good hard thunderstorm. I miss thunderstorms. Glitch says, Aim in Texas, the hell is this frozen rain? Let's drive like idiots. People are crazy, man. Faye says, doesn't rain hard here compared to the East Coast. I describe it like God is spitting on you periodically.
What
LOL.
the frick?
IMB Trent says, my sister now lives in Georgia and she complains when they get snow in her area because people seem to lose their minds in the snow, as she says. I will say, even in the Midwest where people are familiar with snow and like copious amounts of it, the first snow is always the worst because people forget you have to stop earlier. And because of that, like the first snow of the season always has tons and tons of accidents and people like sliding off the road into ditches and shit like that. So, I'm What's for Dinner says to IMB Trent, I thought you wanted to honeymoon in Maine or Alaska. I'm gonna keep scrolling. IMB Trent says Alaska is near enough the Pacific Northwest and cheaper, than Alaska would be. Excuse me, Pacific Northwest and cheaper than Alaska would be.
I don't know travel prices, so I can't say.
Still want to go to Maine and Alaska.
Thank you, everyone, for the bless yous. Captain Figure says, I don't know if I would take a shit with someone else in the bathroom.
I would cut loose. That's my symphony.
Adam's
right there.
done it with me.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
You've done it with me.
Yeah, we're married.
Yeah, so she acts like, oh, well, I'm not sure if I would do it.
Well, not married, but you know.
We're basically married.
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
We did the whole like proposal thing and we told our families and her dad was like, it's common law. You guys are already fucking married.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
I was like, I'm not sure if that exists in California or whatever state we're in, but hey, whatever.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Cool.
I'm Beef Trainer says, just drive like your granny's in the passenger seat with her Sunday best on and a full dish of gravy when it's slick out. Oh, I get
driving
it. Yeah.
when it's rainy.
Like,
or
so you're
snowy.
like trying to drive safely so that you don't
drive slow, man. Just be thoughtful of every single action you're gonna make. Otherwise, you're gonna get into an accident for sure.
I'm what says if it's bad enough, I could take a shot with someone else on the toilet. Oh shit!
I'd be like, spread your legs,
like,
bro.
what?
I'm coming in.
He always says that when I'm on the bathroom. He's
When
like,
she takes too
I gotta
fucking
pee.
when I'm like, I need when we get home, I have to go to the bathroom. Let me go first. It'll be quick. She's like, okay. We get home. I open the gate. I have to take care of the dog. She runs into the fucking bathroom. And I'm like, we said I would go first. And she's just like, heh. And then she gets on her phone. She's playing her stupid fucking games. And I'm like, are you done yet? Because if not, like, just spread your legs so I can take a crap between your legs. I have to go so fucking bad. We have another bathroom. I'm just being dramatic.
Faye says, problem in Portland is that they don't salt the roads, so everything just freezes. That's
there's
crazy.
a lot of places where if you're not prepared for it, there's nothing in your city's budget for dealing with like frozen roads or like snowy roads. So it's just super slick and you just have to fucking deal with it. So it can be rough.
All right. Give me your drink because you're not going to finish by the end of the show.
What the fuck are you talking about?
So let me do the 4, right?
I'm offended because I could totally finish that drink. I'm just being moderate because we have a whole nother show to record. Yep, 5 drinks now. It looks like you're taking sips. Yeah, she is. How's everyone doing? You guys good? Hopefully we'll be able to do some gaming streams here soon. The summer's just been very, very busy. Between going to San Diego Comic-Con, having a bunch of guests out, birthdays, going to conventions where we were working, like Anime Expo. Like, we were there. It was so much. It was so much, y'all.
It hurty.
It hurty? Like the booze?
Mm-hmm.
You're drinking liquefied sausage. So that's what my friend used to say anytime I drink Guinness around him. He's like, it tastes like a sausage. All right, pretty good. It's really, really like distinctly different colors on the stream, which I'm proud of.
Yeah.
One more.
All right. Blister needs one more. Sorry. All right. So you.
So good. Oh, that tastes so good.
Wait, your thing is huge.
Thank you. All right. Oh, Robin's going on to the last one. Got it. I'll scroll and see if anything else is said. I'm B-Tran says, I remember my second year of driving, I had to drive to work in a blizzard. It sucked ass. I was terrified, and drivers all around me were spinning off into the ditches. Yeah, dude, you gotta be careful. Face says, why is that message pinned, LOL?
What message?
I don't know.
We can pin messages?
I can't. I mean, not from this thing. I can probably do it like in the other thing. Alistair says, I remember one year the city had a road salt shortage, and they ended up getting a donation from Morton's, a couple tons of garlic salt for the roads. Bet you it smelled just so nice. All right. Glitch says, redeem points for special pin 20,000. That's funny.
Is that one of our options now? I think maybe I put
Unless
it
you put it up there? I don't know.
I don't know.
We'd see it over here if it was. All right. Stopping at It Was Aromatic from What's for Dinner.
All right.
Well, Margaret, finish this one off.
So final story of the episode. It's pretty long. I'm excited. It looks like it has, ancient Hawaiian vibes on it. So.
It's titled The Offerings.
Yeah.
And she's right. It appears long, strong. It seems down to get the friction on.
Stop. Okay, so it begins. One day, we told our neighbor, who is Hawaiian, what had been going on. Since there's been a lot of hauntings, a lot of scary stuff. We told her of all these strange occurrences. We told her we had the house blessed by the Catholic priest. That didn't help. So she told us to call her friend who was a psychic. My family was a bit hesitant because there were so many superstitions and ghost stories in Hawaii that it was hard to know when someone was legit or just scamming you. I totally, absolutely get that.
I would assume I was being scammed regardless of what was said, for sure.
A few days later, my mom called the so-called psychic. As soon as the psychic answered the phone, she immediately began telling my mom that we have a family buried under the back left corner of the property. This happened to be right under my bedroom.
That's fucked up.
What the fuck?
Maybe they literally just looked up like, oh, your house is literally built in a graveyard.
The psychic said that the father, mother, and daughter are buried there. I don't remember why they are there, but they are not happy that we built over their grave. So the psychic said we have to blah blah blah. So the psychic said we had to give a peace offering. She said we needed to acquire fresh pork, fish, and taro.
She gives you a whole recipe like, just bring it to my house, it'll work. Like, I know you're supposed to give it to them, but like, if you give it to me, I'll tell them it was. Just make sure, like, it's delicious. We
needed to make 3 bundles, 1 each for the father, mother, and child. Each had to be wrapped in exactly 3 tea leaves. We had to prepare them a certain way, too. Then we had to lay them in a row in the back corner of the property at sunset. We had to say a prayer to bless them and to ask for forgiveness. I totally get this as somebody who grew up in a superstitious family. Different things require different rituals and offerings and things that you have to do. I think when I was really sick when I was a kid, my mom did something. When she couldn't sell her house in Texas, she went to somebody who made her do something.
It's not that crazy. Like, we've heard stories about people like burying crosses in the front yard or whatever, like a specific type of like religious piece of memorabilia that's supposed to help you like move on or something like that. So there's a lot of different things through different cultures that are specific to stuff like that. So
yeah, we were pretty skeptical that this would work, but we were also amazed at how much this person knew with one phone call. I remember my mom telling me that she didn't get a chance to even say hi or introduce who she was. The woman on the other side of the call knew why she was calling and knew everything about our property. She knew the bedroom that was over the burial area was an add-on to the original house, and this is why weird things were only happening now. She also knew that the corner of the property always had trouble growing things. Every place else on the property flourished with grass, flowers, plants, even weeds, but this corner was just dirt and one tiny tree that never bore fruit. It was just freaky, but we were still not quite convinced. However, we decided to still do what she had suggested because we had nothing else to lose.
Yeah, skeptical, but reasonable. Like, what do we have to lose? Let's give it a shot.
Yeah. So the next day, we bought all the items and wrapped them in the tea leaves. The tea leaves had to be laid overlapping to make a star, quote-unquote star, as specified by the psychic. We put the pork, fish, and taro in the middle and gathered the ends to tie them so it looked like a pouch or lau lau, which is literally like anytime we go to a Hawaiian restaurant, barbecue, anything, I always see if they have lau lau because not every place does, but I always want it. That's like always my thing. So good. But larger to hold all the items. We laid each pouch side by side in a straight row between the one large rock in that part of the property and the tiny tree at sunset. A few days later, my neighbor asked if we checked on the pouches. I said no, but let's go look now. We went through the house to the back rooms that were closest to where we lay the offerings. We opened the window to peek at them, and I was 100% sure I would see the tea leaves shredded up by the wildlife, which were stray cats, mongoose, rats, etc., in disarray or with a hole ripped into them to get to the food. But when we looked, we saw all the tea leaves laid out side by side in a row. I have chills, dog.
That's crazy.
Nice and neatly. The food was gone and the tea leaves were intact. They were not shredded or strewn around in a mess. Instead, they looked as though someone had opened them and removed the contents. My neighbor and I quickly looked at each other and screamed. We got the hell out of there. We ran back to the front of the house screaming. Then we questioned everyone, thinking someone must have gone there and untied the leaves and took out the food. There should be a comma there. Took out the food, playing a sick joke on us. But everyone said no, and everyone took their own look and was scared too. The encounters seemed to stop after this. At least I thought they did. I didn't want to take any chances, so I chose not to be in that room. I moved out of it and switched with my older brother. After my older brother and I had moved out of the house, my younger brother moved into that room. Years later, my siblings and I reminisced of those days. I asked if they ever saw or experienced anything more after we made the offerings. They both told me that when they lived in that room, they both were visited by the ghost of the child.
What?
They felt her hands on their arms, but it was not malicious. Instead, it was like she was just saying hi. So the ghosts remain, but at least they aren't angry anymore. Hope you enjoyed, and sorry if it was long. Trash Panda 17's mom.
Well, thank you so much, Trash Panda 17's mom, for sending that in. It was super long, but very, very good.
That story gave me chills for sure. Because, damn, that's scary.
It reminds me a lot of some of the stories my dad shared with me, like the stuff that he went through growing up, and like so the contacting a psychic, trying to figure out what you can do to like prevent stuff like that from happening, for sure. So
yeah, and I grew up with offerings on death days and things like that, so I'm used to that concept and that idea. But actually going and checking and seeing that it looks like someone unfolded all the tea leaves is terrifying.
Yeah, unless someone actually went and did that, like I'm sure a person could do that, but you would have had to like not notice it. They would have had to lie to your face and be honest about it and do it super sneaky. Yeah. So it's and the fact that the activity stopped after that is pretty telling. Stopped-ish for sure. But either way, thank you so much for sending in those stories. They were fantastic. I think at the beginning you said this isn't all of them, so send the rest. Yeah, we want to know. But yeah, good stuff. All right, so that is everything we have for this particular episode 199 of Storytime. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. If you have any stories you would like to share with us, please email storytime@scaryish.com or go to our website, scaryish.com, click on Contact Us, fill out that form. It does come directly to us. And you can hit us up on our social medias. Facebook is facebook.com/scarishpodcast. Twitter, or whatever the fuck it's called now, is @scarishpodcast. It's called X, like X-Men. If you tweet you're an X-Man or an X-Woman or an X-whatever.
It's a Z.
I fucking hate him so much. Anyways, @scarishpodcast for Twitter or whatever it's called now, and then @scarishpod for Twitter, @scarishpodcast for Instagram, which is still just fucking called Instagram, thank Christ.
The smart thing about Twitter's advertising is like you tweet because it's a bird. The logo for Twitter is a bird.
Yeah, so now who knows what it's called now. We also have a Threads. If you want to follow us on Threads, that's a thing. You can go over and it's @scarishpodcast or @scarishpod, one of the two over there. I don't think many people are using it. We all just made accounts to be like, fuck you, Elon, and then we were just like,
I haven't made a Threads account.
You're stupid. Anyways, I mean, if you don't want to make one, don't make one. But if you have one, we should have ours up and running. Anytime a new social media pops up, I try and reserve all of them for Scaryish, Twat to Twat, the movie podcast we still haven't fucking started, and Hear Us Out Network, which is essentially dead at this point. So they all exist, or they should, and then I have my own. So I tweeted something hilarious the other day. So, or excuse me, it's not tweet. I threaded it. It was pretty funny. Someone complained. We were like, I looked at some like video on Instagram, and it was Las Vegas, and someone was like, I hate Las Vegas. That city smells like shit. And someone commented on, they're like, where did you go that smelled? I've lived here for like my whole life, and it doesn't smell. And I was like, I mean, I've lived in a lot of cities in my life, and this one does not smell at all. Shit. Yeah, we've been to New York. New York smells like piss in certain places. And so I followed this particular interaction between these two folks on Instagram, and the guy was saying like, I mean, I stayed at the Caesars, and one time I stayed in like old downtown, and they're just like, so the Strip, you stayed at the Strip, which is just filled with tourists and drunk people, and you're wondering why you might have smelled something bad. And so what I commented on it to contribute was like, you saying Las Vegas smells like shit when only having visited the Strip is like me coming to your house and saying your house smells like shit, but I only ever went to your bathroom and I was the one that took the shit. And I was like, I'm so funny. I'm putting this on Threads.
Oh,
and
my God.
No one saw it because no one uses Threads. But I didn't check my post on Instagram to see if anyone liked it. I don't know how to do that. I'm not an Instagrammer or a grammar or whatever you call them. Anyways, this was episode 199 of Storytime. We hope you liked it. Robin, for folks who would like to donate to us, because we're hilarious, how can they do so?
You can go to patreon.com/Scaryish podcast. Tiers start at $1. You can also go to coffee, ko-fi.com/Scaryish podcast. And those are one-time donations.
Indeed. Thank you so much to everyone who watches live, everyone who listens after the fact, everyone who supports us in all the ways you folks do, even if it's silently from the shadows. We feel it in a non-creepy way, and we appreciate you.
I hope it's a non-creepy way. Please don't follow us in a creepy way.
Yeah, please don't be creeps. But I think so far, so good. So that's everything we got. Robin, why don't you go ahead and sign us out?
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye. Mark.
It's weird ending an episode in the middle of the stream because you know you're going to redo another.
We have to do an intro and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are sitting there and you're like,
peeking behind the curtain right now.
Yeah, I like your curtains.
Thank you. You like peeking behind them too. All right, let's look at these. Let's plan out the next episode. So in the middle of it, you're not like, this one's too long. I don't like it. All right, Doppelgangers in Los Angeles. That was not too bad. That's a decently length one.
Yeah, that's Gucci.
All right. Then there's this one, which is
that's
normal.
Fine too.
That one looks good. And there's this one, which is super short. This one's from Spooky Ant.
Oh, aw.
And to make up for the super short one, we got a long... oh, wow, that one's long.
Yeah.
So we want to do split this one in half?
Yeah.
All right, which one are we not going to read? Spooky Ant? I feel bad. Or do you want us to read Spooky Ant because it's super short?
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, it's our episode 200.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So we'll do 5.
All right, we're going to do 5. It's getting hot in here.
Take off all your clothes.
I am getting
You know that
so
young
hot.
kids probably don't even know that song.
I mean, I'm sure they've heard it on, like, the gram or whatever. It's got to be played somewhere. Social media is everywhere.
Okay.
Anyways.
I was like, I don't know.
Right.
I'm too old. I don't know anymore. I don't know what anything is. What is?
So when you're drinking someone, or I'm Trina said, thinking to Robin, chug, chug, chug. Gonna go ahead and keep scrolling down.
Faye says, I think we're the only person from the East Coast on our block. That sucks.
I'm Trina says, I have not tried out my mod powers. What happens if I time out at Glitch Grim? I would remove your mod powers because Glitch is super mod. And if I had a super mod to give out, I would give it to him. He has literally been at every single thing we've ever done live.
Even the Adam testing out stuff and trying to fix stuff. And
I'm pretty sure 2 a.m. his time.
Yeah.
Like at the very beginning, he was there. So, all right, gonna keep scrolling.
Glitch says, so they're more than just a little blue alien in Hawaii to many ghosts. There's so much in Hawaii. I What's for Dinner says, I have mod powers. Bow before me.
Which says, y'all the same, okay? I still have my pumpkin recipe y'all gave me. I found it when getting my Halloween stuff down.
Aww.
Nice. My Beatrice says, have you made it yet? And Glitch says, every year since I got it, I love them. So does everyone else. I give credit where credit is due.
That's cute.
That is cute. Do I post this now? And he posted the links. He could. You just got to post it again later. I mean, you don't have to. All of this is voluntary, and we appreciate you.
All right.
People excited to bake again. I'm Beatrice talking about baking. Which is, and congrats to Share the Stream winners.
Oh, yeah. All the people that won the awards. I still haven't mailed them out. Yeah. I don't think so.
So I talked to Chunkster, and I was just like, do you have a character you want me to build? Because Chunkster plays D&D. I was like, do you have a character you want me to build your set around? And she had a specific character in mind, but she was like, I'm not sure what color scheme. She gave me some suggestions. One of them, I was like, I already have a set that looks just like that. I made it for funsies. Robin and I made it together, in fact. So I was like, I'm going to give you this one no matter what. And then I'm going to make one. This room has just been very occupied, so it's been hard to get it taken care of, but I can do it this weekend, so I'm very excited for that. I'm What's Dinner says, also wanted Adam to let Adam know that Scaryish was a brilliant contest name. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Aw, I'm Beef Sharon says, speaking of baking again, I still need to get the promised baked nummies to Adam and Robin. I have not forgotten. We do not go to that P.O. box as often as we should, since we live in a completely different state
If you're going to send us something that's perishable, reach out to us and ask us where to send it, because we might have a new P.O. box by then.
Yeah.
We might just give you the house address.
Yeah, or we might just, have someone grab them when they're coming out here.
Yeah. Glitch said, dice stream? Perhaps. I don't want to pin making Chunkster's dice on the technical aspect of trying to set up a second stream on that side of the office. I could probably pull it off, but it would really just be a lot easier for me to do it off stream. But we're close. I have a new light. My mom left her light because she's getting ready to move, and she brought out this light that she has for like over the top of her like puzzle boards and stuff. That would really like make it show up very well. So we'll see. But we're gonna get into this second episode.
Yeah.
Before you start scrolling and shit, let me pause this, which means you just gotta notch it up one. All right. Let's order these. Here's how I suggest we do this. Super long one is last.
Lasty.
Okay, here's what I'm saying we do. Let's do it in this order. Let's start with a normal one, then a normal one, commercial break, come back. Here's a super short one. Now here's a really long one.
Okay.
Whoever read the super short one will read the start of the long one.
Okay.
And then halfway through we'll trade off.
Okay.
Sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, so it'll go you, me, and then you will read Spooky Ants in the first half, and then I'll finish us off with the second half.
Okay.
There you go. That's how we do this. Speaking of Spooky Ants, just resubscribe for the 36th month. That's 3 whole years. Says, I'm still working, but wanted to say hi. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully work's not too stressful.
Indeed. All right. Gonna mark it. We're gonna do a whole brand new intro. Act surprised, y'all. All right. 5, 4, 3.
What? Hey there, spooky friends, and welcome to episode 200. Spooky time. Spooky story time. Fuck, let's redo it.
Holy shit.
Let's redo it.
Marking it.
Okay.
In 5, 4, 3.
Hey there, spooky friends, and welcome to episode 200 of our story times.
Woo!
That's 200 episodes of homegrown horrors, 200 episodes of you folks sending us your stories, experiences, all that fun stuff. Why don't you tell everybody, if they're new here, what homegrown horrors are?
So homegrown horrors are the stories that have been sent to us by you, the listener. It can be your story, a friend, a family member, but something that you've been giving permission to share, and you give us permission to share. That is, a supernatural story, spiritual, coincidental, true crime, extraterrestrial, anything else that matches that genre that you said, I think Adam and Robin would enjoy this, and I am okay with them reading it on the show, and you've sent our way. Robin, for folks who like to reach out to us and give us a homegrown horror, where do they send that?
Storytime at Scaryish.com. That's our email. You can go to our website, Scaryish.com. There's a link. You can click on the little email link.
It says contact us.
Contact us, and it'll send us an email that way. We also have social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We've gotten stories all over.
Threads.
It's not Twitter anymore. It's called X.
I just can't even fucking deal with it.
So...
But yeah, this is a pretty special Storytime episode. We are recording it early, so the folks that are watching us record this live, because Storytimes are always recorded live at youtube.com/Scaryish and twitch.tv/Scaryish podcast. They're getting a double dose because we just recorded episode 199. But episode 200, it's a pretty big milestone. That means we've had 200 episodes.
We've had at least 400 stories.
We've had closer to over 1,000 because we started story times with 6 stories each.
Damn.
We used to do 6, then we went down to 4 because it made more sense with pacing. And then like when we got to like 180, we started to like get low on stories, and we'd have to like wait a little while before we could come back. And that's sort of what happened recently as well. So we were able to get 199 and 200 knocked out so that we could take a little bit of a summer vacation. But we don't want to undermine or underplay or whatever the importance of 200 episodes that are literally in existence because of you, the listener, sending us your stories. We sincerely appreciate all this you shared with us. Like, sending these stories is not an easy thing to do. A lot of times these are very personal and people are afraid of getting mocked. And
we're not here to mock.
We're not. We're here to read your story and share it, and we appreciate you trusting us to do that. So it's been pretty special. I will say, like, talking to some of my friends and family members who don't really listen to the show, you know, and I understand that. Just getting to tell them stories that I've heard through the show has been really exciting. And having people reach out to us that are friends or family members just to say, like, hey, I listened to this, or like to send us their story to share has been pretty incredible. Like, we've had family members reach out like, hey, like, I had something happen to me that we might have never known otherwise. And it's just been a really special thing to do. And I will say, of all the story times that we've had and all the homegrown horrors that we've read through, there are a few that still stick with us. Like, I definitely have one that I went and hung out with a friend a couple years ago, and he listens to the show, and he was asking, like, which one do you think is, like, the scariest? And there was just one about, you know, someone's family, and it was, like, family drama where their dad was, like stepping out on their mom with some lady who was, you know, some form of, like, evil magic practitioner and cast a curse, and, like, all this crazy shit happened, and it was horrifying. And then their, like, grandmother passed away during all these things that were going on, and that one definitely stuck with me. And when I brought it up, he immediately knew which one I was talking about, because it was just like, yeah, that one was fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then there's stuff that people reach out and send, like, different stories about, like, things that, you know, happen to you after a loved one passes away, and, like, things that you see, like butterflies or moths, or things that are super special or significant to the person who had passed away. And, you know, those ones resonate with me too, because I had similar experiences when I was a kid, when, you know, my grandfather passed away and things like that. So the fact that people were willing to share those with us when they're, in some cases, total strangers, or we're close enough with them where, you know, they hadn't even thought to share that with us prior, it's been super awesome. Like, are there any in particular that have, like, left an impression on you, Robin?
Definitely the ones where, you know, they see different creatures that to them are that person coming back.
Yeah.
And just saying, like, hey, things are good, you're fine, we're fine, I'm fine, you know, that kind of thing. The
dream ones too, where people see, like, loved ones in dreams to tell them, like, everything's going to be okay. Those ones are really nice. I've had that happen to me a couple of times with people that pass suddenly. So it's always a cool time. So we have 5 stories for you for this particular episode. We're going to give you a bonus one. One of them was really short and one of them was really long. And then there's 2. Wait, are we doing... Okay, we're splitting one into 2 stories because it's so long. Yeah. So technically it's 4. But one of them is super long, and so it broke apart when it got emailed to us, and it came in 2 pieces. Because that's what happens with really heavy emails. That was a stupid joke, but I'm sticking with it. I'm not taking it out of the show.
Okay.
So you're going to go first, right?
I'm going to go first.
All right, take it over.
All right. This one is titled Doppelgangers in Los Angeles. It begins, hey, y'all, I'm Y. Sup, Y. And I love listening to your pod on hikes and on the drive to and from work. So this story takes place pre-pandemic, when I was thriving in Los Angeles before being banished to the snowy mountains of Arizona, which is crazy for me because...
I don't think snowy mountains when I think of Arizona.
Yeah. But there are mountains. So
yeah, for sure.
Makes sense. There's mountains in Vegas too. You just never think
There's mountains everywhere, except for the places where there's not mountains.
I was 23 and had just moved into my first apartment with my friend of my tia. We'll call her A. A was very sweet and an overall good roommate. She worked as a waitress in Santa Monica, and we lived in Los Feliz. That's about a 40-minute drive for those who are unfamiliar with the hellscape that is LA traffic.
LA traffic is
the worst.
Yeah.
I was working as an interior designer at the time at a firm in West LA. My roommate worked nights mostly, and I worked a typical 9-to-5 schedule. So when I would get home, she wouldn't be there. One day, I walked in, and A was standing in the kitchen. I stood at the island and started talking about my day and asked how she was. She was facing away from me towards the stove and didn't move or speak. I'm already scared. I thought she was cooking until I noticed that she hadn't moved at all. I thought she might be in a mood, so I went to the bathroom and walked back out to tell her some stupid fact that popped into my head. She wasn't there. I poked my head into her room and nothing. I texted her, asking her where she went. I got a text saying that she'd been at work for a few hours already. Weird, but I thought it was in my head. Cut to 2 weeks later, I'm lying in bed with my door open on a Sunday morning. I saw my roommate sitting on the sofa and meditating. I got up and tried to be quiet as to not disturb her, but the fact that she was home on a Sunday morning was weird, because she usually worked a brunch shift. Once I got out of the bathroom, she was nowhere to be seen. That was the last time I saw a double of my roommate. I moved out to my own studio a few months later and was doing a guided meditation, but halfway through, I felt like I wasn't alone. So I looked up and saw myself standing in the corner smiling with the most disgusting and inhuman mouth I have ever seen. I blinked and it was gone. I felt a bite in my shoulder and completely lost my meditation. What the fuck? Was that my mind wandering during meditation? I fucking hope so. Anyway, that's just one story of some weird shit I've seen in my life. Keep on creeping on. Why?
That is terrifying.
Horrifying.
Yeah, for
absolutely
sure.
Horrifying.
Doubles freak me the fuck out, without a doubt. But like the whole meditation and seeing like an evil version of yourself, so to speak. Excuse me. That is like terrifying to me. So it's like you almost want to never meditate again. Like just shut that shit down, just in case like you're opening a doorway to see that thing. Like build bricks like in front of that door at that point. That's horrifying.
At work, they're offering like a meditation class or like a meditation time slot, and I'm like, no thanks, because I don't know. I don't want to know if there's something there in my mind or something that is like waiting for me to just take the time to meditate and come out and be like, oh, BT dubs, you're fucking crazy. Or
what
something.
If it's your superpower that you can unlock?
Unless it's like me opening more brain cells, I don't think so.
Is it worth peeking behind the curtain to find out? No, probably not. I like
where
I am right now.
I'm not into meditation. It's the idea scares me. I know a lot of people do. A lot of people like it.
Yeah.
A lot of people want that time out of their day to kind of just recenter themselves, and that is not for me, because I feel like something scary would happen. I haven't watched Smile yet, that new movie. I haven't watched it yet.
That does look really creepy too.
But imagine seeing that. Imagine seeing some scary shit like that. I can't.
I know this is inappropriate. I'm going to go ahead and flag myself for it already. But hearing you say like people want to take time out of their day to center themselves reminds me of a video I saw on Instagram where some guy says that the secret to always having a clear mind for him is he masturbates 9 to 10 times a day.
What the frick?
So people keep asking him questions that are very complicated. And he's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. When I come back, I'll give you your answer. It's clearly a comedy thing. But at the end of it, he's like all disheveled from all the questions he's been asked, where he's just been savaging himself for the whole fucking video. And someone's just like, does this really work? And he goes, if you're not in a state of post-nut clarity, you're in a state of pre-nut delusion.
Oh my God.
And that ran through my mind just now. So shout out to whoever made that video, because it's fucking funny. But yeah, I agree with you. Anyways, okay. Meditation. Cool.
What the fuck?
All right, we're going to go ahead and read some chitter chatter. Anyways, I'm going to keep scrolling. MB says, speaking of baking again,
I already
read that. So we don't have a lot to go over. Glitch says, I have D&D tomorrow. Our mins just came in. Oh, miniatures. And I'll have to show you, Adam. Definitely send me pictures, dude. I really want to see that. 200 episodes. MB says, not to mention the stories that were also read with topics way back at the start. I think the first like 30 or 40 episodes we were reading listener submitted homegrown horrors. Yeah, at the beginning of every topic episode. IMB Trent says, I was first thinking astral projection, but that doesn't match up with that final description. Yeah, it got kind of weird there. Definitely fucking creepy. I was thinking that too when I was saying like the roommate was there, but like who would be astral projecting while you're waiting tables? I don't think anyone has a powerful enough mind to do that. And if you would you astral project into your kitchen to just hang out? Yeah. Unless that's like your safe space, I guess.
We've done, or I think I did the doppelganger topic.
You did?
Where it just happens. Like weird things happen, and people are seeing these not necessarily apparitions, but kind of sort of apparitions of these people that are doing their everyday life stuff, and you just somehow have them pop up. It's weird.
Yeah. Shout out to 911 Girl, who donated 500 bits.
Boop, boop. Thank you for the bits.
That brings our goal to $172 of the 300 required to go to Bagel's Museum. So, which was inspired by Marsha. In fact, she was like, you guys have to go. And I was like, I'd never pay that turd money. And she was like, you should make it a goal. And I want to go on the basement tour, and I want to take Robin.
No.
And she was like, no. She was like, I will convince her. And I was like, good luck. She's going to say no. Because I tried to convince her for the Winchester basement tour, and she said no. Even though we went there, and we're with a bunch of fun people. She'll still say no. Anyways, moving on.
All I can smell is the Guinness.
Do you want to finish it for me?
No.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and move into the second email of the show. And this one's subject is Red Arms Can Share on Podcast. And it's from Sunny. Starts out like this. Hello, Robin and Adam.
Hello.
Hello. I found this podcast on Spotify. Shout out Spotify. I've been listening for a while, but I started from the beginning, so I am on episode 66, which is why I am writing this email. Ralph was talking about red arms. I vaguely remember this, but this is similar to something we talked about last episode where you say you see things out of the corner of your eyes. I'm pretty sure Ralph said that he sees like arms every now and then that are red out of the corner of his eyes. So for context, I believe that's what they're referring to. They go on to say, I almost skipped the whole episode when those words left his mouth, but curiosity got the better of me. When I was younger, I used to see red arms all the time.
Shut up. I just got chills too. Dang it, these stories are good.
It is hard to explain out loud, but they were a pair of arms that would appear in the most random places. I would be walking the halls at school and see them come out from around corners. I would see them at the end of my bed.
No.
Also just in places that are in the corner of your eye. I never got an evil feeling from them, but they would make me uneasy. I also could never tell if they were red arms or arms covered by red gloves. I could also never tell what they were doing. Were they waving at me? Calling to me? I still have no idea. They were always hands just up to the forearms. Which is...
What?
Which, as an adult, it is hard to figure out how I saw the arms but no body connected to them. When I finally told my mom about them, she broke down and started crying.
Oh,
what the fuck?
My God.
She told me 2 stories from when I was a baby. The first one was that I had burned my hands really bad. My mom had opened the oven and I put both of my hands down on the oven door. The second was that I would wake up with nosebleeds as a kid. I guess when I woke up with my nosebleeds, they were so bad that my hands would be covered in blood.
Oh my God.
She believed it was her guilt that was following me. Wow, a manifestation of guilt.
Crazy.
That's crazy. I don't know if that is why my subconscious would see these red hands all the time or not, but after I told my mom about it, I stopped seeing them.
Oh, wow.
Although I can never get rid of the feeling I had when I saw them. Like I said, it didn't feel like evil, but it was always so uncomfortable. Thank you for allowing me to share this experience with y'all. Keep on creeping on. P.S. This podcast is such a beacon of light in the sea of darkness.
Oh, thank you so much.
We appreciate that. That's very sweet. And also horrifying.
That's pretty crazy that you know your mom remembers these things happening to you, and by you describing that, she's like, this is what I remember, and this is probably why. And the fact that you guys had that conversation and you stopped seeing them is pretty interesting.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm happy you did have that conversation too, because maybe that was what you needed to hear to stop seeing those things. Maybe it was something where like you had heard her talking about her guilt when you were a kid, and you couldn't quite comprehend what she was saying, but you remembered it subconsciously, so it was like manifesting in some sort of like weird thing you were seeing. Very hard to tell. Very odd that Ralph had that same experience or similar experience. So either way, thank you so much for sending in that email.
Yeah.
So here's what I suggest. Let's read the short one.
Okay.
And then have the second half of the podcast be completely dedicated to the really long one.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to let you take this one.
All right. So this next one is from a Spooky Ant, and it begins. This is my coworker's story about the time she went to Salem, Massachusetts. In short, oh, nope, not in short. It's short, but I told her it would be good for the podcast. Nice.
For those of you who don't know, Salem, Massachusetts is a place in the United States of America where some crazy shit happened way back in the day.
They burned a lot of people, murdered
a lot of people, and called them witches, basically.
She arrived around 8 a.m., but her hotel check-in time wasn't until 3 or 4 p.m. She was exhausted, so she found a field with a skate park nearby to pull into and take a nap. After a while, she heard someone tapping on her driver's side window.
Oh, fuck.
So she opened one eye at first, but didn't see anyone. I'm already scared. She then sat up and looked around, but no one was there. She closed her eyes to go back to sleep and then heard the tapping again. But still, she didn't see anyone when she opened her eyes. She found out later that day, when she took a guided tour, the area where she had parked was where they hanged people during the Salem witch trials. In fact, I have chills. In fact, the burial grounds were just down the hill from where she parked.
Holy shit.
I told her either the kids from the skate park were messing with her or the witches were trying to warn her to get out of there.
She put witches in quotations because they weren't really witches.
Weren't witches, yeah. We love and miss you. Hopefully we can visit soon.
I believe this was sent right before they visited.
Yeah.
So,
because they were just here just a couple weeks ago.
So this is actually not right before they visited. It was months before they visited.
I would love to go to Salem.
I would
one
too.
Of these, or just Massachusetts in general. I want to go to Boston. I want to check out all that stuff. But there's a lot of history A lot of history down that road.
A lot of dark history for sure. So I would definitely like to check it out and see what that's all about. So maybe one day, this is a good story. This makes me feel like we should go.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Spooky Ant, for sending that. You're the best. We love you. Robin double-clicked on something because she never, ever, 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 ever doesn't mess something up. That was mean. There's a lot of times where she doesn't screw stuff up. She's beautiful.
You're beautiful.
I love her. I think this is it.
It looks about right.
Yeah. And recovered.
All right, so
dope. Drugs.
I was going to ask how long our break will be. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're going to have these story times come out next week on Friday and the week after that. So we can just sort of chill out and then, get some rest time. Just, not have to worry about. Sometimes it's really hard to find a topic. This far along in a show at 6 years, having had 2 topics per episode, sometimes 3, it's really hard to find topics sometimes that are either long enough for an episode or aren't an incredible amount of research. Because we still have some heavy hitters, It took us 260, 270 episodes to get to Son of Sam,
Yeah.
Because that's super heavy research. And I still took shit for it because I didn't get to the conclusion everyone wanted. Some guy gave me a bunch of shit for saying something from a documentary, from a witness who sat there and said, this is what I saw. And when I said, this guy's name is so-and-so, he made this claim in this documentary, his statement is on the record. He said, well, he's wrong. And it's like, okay, bro, sorry. So sometimes you want to avoid those. So when you're looking for something to cover that's not as fucking crazy, it can be difficult. So nowadays it's almost harder. I'm more relieved to find a topic to do than I used to be when I finished my script. Because when we had the world was our oyster and we had everything to cover, it was just how do I want to cover this? Nowadays it's what the fuck am I even going to cover? And we have a list of topics, in our document that we could do, but some of them just they don't seem like heavy hitters or things people would be crazy interested in, or they're just going to be so much fucking work. It's going to be exhausting. So we definitely need some time off so we don't burn out. So it's going to be helpful to have these episodes go up.
Yeah. I'm Beef Turner said, despite Robin being terrified of basements, she went into the basement of the motor museum. I didn't even realize that was a basement.
Yeah, it just seemed like you just walked downstairs.
Yeah, you just walked downstairs. There's a giant colon that was in the basement. There was a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, Motor Museum was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it was
very underrated.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Lots of medical, disgusting stuff. I'm Beef Turner says there were early surgical tools that looked far too blunt to be effective.
Maybe they just haven't been sharpened in a long time.
But yeah.
My favorite part of that whole Pennsylvania trip that we did was going to the Independence Hall. And then afterwards checking out the Liberty Bell because we were reading the documents that have been written and we realized that there was an S.
The S that looks like an F.
That looked like an F. So we were reading it as if it were an F and we were all reading in an old timey voice but saying F instead of S. So you just sound silly and stupid. So there's a tour going on and our great forefathers were blah 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 and we're hee 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 in the background. That was so fucking fun. That was just hanging out with my friends on the fucking field trip, just being silly and waiting for the teacher to yell at us, but it's he couldn't. We weren't in his fucking groupie shit. That was super fun. So, all right. I'm with Junior says, I want to hear your take on the nuclear Boy Scout. He tried to build a nuclear power plant in his garden and nearly irradiated the whole neighborhood. What an asshole.
That sounds like a fun topic.
One thing we've talked about doing, and I'm lukewarm to this idea for a couple of reasons, but it was one that I had. It's one of my ideas that I think is dumb. Is having 50 episodes to cover the 50 states of the United States. And we've already covered a lot of the stuff within the states, but saying hey, we're going to cover haunted Indiana, and just pick some stuff within Indiana that we haven't covered yet to be a themed episode. The problem there is a couple of things. One, it's a lot of research to figure out what we've already covered that took place in Indiana and make sure it doesn't overlap. And the second one is, if we cover haunted Indiana, whatever we don't cover, whether or not it's true crime, cryptid, ghost story, are people going to be you didn't cover everything? It's yeah, no shit, we didn't cover everything. Because I don't want to do haunted Indiana too, And then, are we going to be taking topics that if we stretched it out a bit could be an individual topic on its own? We recently had someone suggest maybe you should do the 50 states, and I was we've thought about that, and it would be content that we could churn out, but at the same time, is it quality content? And that's sort of a struggle that we do have. So that's the struggle that I'm at right now. But anyways, fun stuff.
Go ahead and read.
Oh yeah, I guess I'll be starting, huh? Marking it. Do we do the proper outro? Do we do like we're gonna take a quick commercial break?
No.
I have one. I have a pre-made one if we forget to do it that I just drop
cool.
in. So, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and move into the final story of the show. This one is long, so we're gonna split it in half. So you're gonna start with me, then you're gonna get Robin to wrap us up.
That was annoying.
Where do you want to split it? You're annoying as fuck. Because and now the story seems like a natural spot to trade off, but it's a lot longer. Yeah.
How about this one? Sorry, I shoved my finger.
You really
into your
shouldn't
screen.
touch a monitor. Yeah. That's okay. I'll clean off.
Do you have an ultra wide too?
I don't think it's ultra wide. Yours is ridiculous. Look at how wide that thing is. All right.
Imagine an ultra wide for you.
Our dogs have been very well behaved. I don't want an ultra wide. I just want a second one of this monitor to replace this super old Samsung monitor, and then I can put this over there to be my monitor for like my second monitor for my laptop. So when I want to stream Dice, I can just like have this one there, which would be nice. Well, we'll see. Still so much to do.
All right, another ultra wide and put it next to my ultra wide, and then I'm gonna have super ultra wide.
And then your desk will just fucking burst into flames. All right, we're gonna do this thing. Here we go. So this email's subject is some scary shit.
Hell
and
yeah.
It's pretty long, so it sounds like there's going to be a lot of scary shit. If it sounded like a cat just meowed, that was all in your head. It definitely wasn't our cat in our office being chased by our corgi, who is now also in our office. It's in your head. All right, this one starts out, hi there, Adam and Robin.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Charles, and I'm from an absolute unit of a shithole town near Chicago. I grew up in one of those. I discovered your show on Spotify. Whoop whoop. Shout out to Spotify. About 2 months ago.
Nice.
I work 4:30 p.m. to 4 a.m. and your podcast is the only thing I listen to while I'm there or driving. Thank you so much. Currently on episode 33, I'm so stupid far behind.
I'm sure you're all caught up now.
Yeah.
It is now July.
This one's from March. I love all the stories, information, and for sure all of the sarcastic and dirty humor. I'm good. I'm glad you like that because it pretty much stays the same for the rest of the show. I actually planned on my first email to just say I saw a ghost, leave it at that, and then apologize for how long my story was, and that while English is my first language, public schools in Illinois are shit. And of course, I would have spelled everything completely atrocious. I figured you guys might think I'm being a troll and ignore any future emails, so even though I thought it would have been hilarious, I scrapped that plan. I probably would have gotten a kick out of it. Every now and then people will troll us and we just like send it to spam. Every now and then people will do something that's just funny enough where it just sneaks by. I don't encourage anyone to test those limits, though. You'll probably wind up in spam. Side note, Adam, I completely agree with you. Whack Braggins is a giant twat. How do you say
Twatopotamus.
Twatopotamus. I like that. Apologies if I offended any actual hippos listening. I don't promote violence really ever, but I mean, fuck that guy. I wouldn't feel too badly if I saw a news story that someone kicked the fucker in the teeth. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
That's rough. I do watch a bit of the show now and again to laugh about his slow but continuous transformation from way too old frat douche cake to fake 90s goth. I'm convinced he's a few seasons away from sewing a blackbird, real or stuffed, perched up on the shoulder of a shirt, panting himself up like the Crow, and learning how to clumsily play bits of Metallica songs on an unnecessarily expensive guitar. But we start... God damn it, Diaz. Get your shit together. Before we start, here's a few things to note. This is an honest-to-deity actual experience I've had. I've been pretty hesitant to share it because it does sound so incredulous. But as modern dipshits say, quote, shit be on it, on my mama, or whatever. That's funny. What I've heard is, like, 100 on God, fam. No cap.
No cap.
No cap.
I don't even know what any of the words that kids say anymore mean.
I try and like have at least one young person in my life to give me like information on what like young slang is so I can at least recognize it.
I have to tell Adam why, certain videos are popular because it's a trend or something.
Yeah.
Like certain songs or something like that.
I'm very just curious from an English perspective of like what things are being said now and what they mean. It's not me so much as like appreciating the slang, but I mean, I'm 38, which means that I was in the generation that had some pretty seriously stupid slang that didn't stick around for very much at all. So
when people used to do like the crotch, like
That's made a comeback because I'm pretty sure that group that started that, which is Degeneration X from WWF, back when it was called WWF, like made a resurgence. But I don't know. I'll have to ask my friend Stefan because he
knows everything.
He knows everything. He is Google. So when you Google, it goes to Stefan's brain. Stefan thinks an answer and sends it to you, and that's where you get all your results. So, all right, we're gonna keep going here. My family and I are native. In parentheses, that's not really important. I'm just super proud of my heritage.
Aww.
Fuck yeah, be native. I'm proud of you. And my childhood was filled with supernatural occurrences, mostly due to my grossly abusive stepfather that thought he was blessed by Satan and had been given a personal demon slave and powers because he did fucked up rituals and whatnot. That sounds awful. Imagine the movie Flowers in the Attic, but with less poison, more animal sacrifices, and an excessive amount of violence and abuse towards my siblings and I.
That's horrifying.
It is, and I'm sorry.
That's a horror story in and of itself.
Also, later in life, a lady that said she was sensitive to the other side and I have a strong connection through the quote-unquote veil because I am a twin, but my twin passed away in the womb as I was being born. She said that bond I had with my unborn sisters, the reason I feel so disconnected from other people and have an affinity for the supernatural, and have struggled with anger and depression for all my life.
Oh, wow.
So that's the backstory. It says, and now to the story. When I was a teen and living at home, I had an especially terrifying experience in my, sorry Robin, basement bedroom. Not just basement, his bedroom's in the basement.
I can't. Why?
It was an amazing summer night, and I had spent the evening... Oh, my bad. And I had spent the evening till the early hours of morning walking around different neighborhoods with my best friend. We would walk around and tell a story to each other, sentence by sentence. One of us would start, the other would follow slowly, building on the other one's previous sentence.
Sounds like a fun writing exercise.
It really does. Each story would be different, but fantastical. It was one of my absolute favorite creative things to do. And one of the reasons people wouldn't believe me about this after it happened, until it happened again. And I wasn't alone for it. They said it was just my overactive imagination. Anyways, we finally got back... Hang on one sec, y'all. I'm going to mute my microphone. Sorry.
He just threw up in his mouth.
I did. It was really... I was like, I'm just going to burp this out really fast. No, wasn't going to happen. Did not feel good. We're going to keep going. All right.
Did you want to mark it?
Oh, I thought I did.
No.
Nothing ever works. That's gross. There's a lot of marks that probably didn't go through either. Anyways.
Oh my fuck. You're going to have to listen through the whole thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare. We're going to pick it up from until it happened again. And I wasn't alone for it. They said it was just my overactive imagination. Anyways, we finally got back to my home where the rest of our buddies had passed out, and after such a good night, I was finally ready to climb into bed. It just occurred to me I have no idea where I'm supposed to stop because it unhighlighted.
This one.
Dope. I was at the point in between sleep and consciousness when I had a strong and sudden feeling that someone was in my room and watching me. I opened my eyes and tried focusing on the shadows around my basement. I immediately was aware that I couldn't move anything but my eyes. Due to the experiences I had when I was young and the experiences I had chasing different haunted and cursed locations around the area, I've always been aware that crazy supernatural things do happen, so I mentally prepared myself for whatever was coming. I was nowhere close to being ready for it. And we're going to stop there. We're going to transition to Robin, and you're going to find out what happened.
All right. I could see a red kind of fog slowly drifting down the stairs. It was like nothing I've ever seen before and seemed to have an otherworldly kind of light to it. As even in the very darkest parts of my room, I could clearly see it shining, twisting and whirling around. As it started wrapping around the frame of my bed, the air grew significantly colder and had a very distinct smell to it. Reminded me of a really old laundry that never made it to the dryer and had molded.
Ooh,
that's the worst.
I know exactly the smell you're describing.
Because it happens all the time.
Yep.
A portion of the fog slowly drifted towards the ceiling and became a sort of frame. It resembled a long oval-esque mirror. I could see myself reflected in the image and can honestly say I've never been more terrified. That is, until she stepped out of the reflection.
Oh, fuck.
It was Lilith.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, too. Too much Diablo 4.
Until the day I die, I'll never forget every detail of her. From the crazy wild hair that looked like masses of brittle twigs from a dead tree, the blacker than black hollow spaces where eyes should have been, to the texture of her skin that seemed like stretched, charred bark. Never. I felt like I might actually die of fright. She crept close to my bed and knelt right next to me. her face next to mine. She cradled my face in between her gnarled and twisted digits. It felt like sandpaper rubbing against my skin. Then she started whispering in my ear, and her breath was cold and stagnant, burned against my face. I couldn't understand the language or languages she was using, but at one point she did say in English that she had always been here from the beginning. From everyone's...
I mean, this really sounds like Lilith,
It sounds
right?
like Lilith. From everyone's beginning, and that she's been watching me, and that she always will, no matter how far I try to run.
This was also sent a while ago, so way before Diablo 4 came out, in case anyone's like, this guy probably played Diablo 4 and then decided to write a story. No, this came to us way before that.
After she was finished speaking, she stood, walked to the foot of my bed, and grabbed me by the ankle and dragged me off onto the floor. I still couldn't move. She moved back to the mirror and stepped through, and the fog vanished. The temperature returned to normal, and the scream that was stuck in my throat finally came out. My friends that were upstairs came rushing down, and it was all I could do to just cling to them and cry. One of them ran to the medicine cabinet to get an ice wrap and ointment for my ankle. Her handprint was seemingly burned into my skin and was there for weeks.
Fuck.
Sometime later, the girl I was seeing came over, and we took a nap together. After we both had drifted off again...
Nap together. Wink wonk. I got you, dog.
After we both had drifted off again, the same feeling and terror washed over me. She and I had fallen asleep facing one another, and as I looked towards Steph, oh, that's a name, I could see the fear in her eyes as I realized she was also fully awake and experiencing what was happening. There were no speeches, just the fog. What stepped out, and then after what seemed like an eternity, it all disappeared and we both screamed. That relationship obviously didn't last, though we remained friends up until a few years ago. She married some guy that makes her happy and isn't surrounded by otherworldly happenings.
Bummer.
I know, right? What a dick bag.
How dare you?
I can see if I can find her and have her send an email detailing what she remembers.
That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. I've done my best to try and not think about these things since it happened. It's been around 25 years since that first night. I'm 41 now, and it wasn't until I heard one of your episodes that I had some sleep paralysis stuff in it. Wait.
Try it again.
And it wasn't until I heard one of your episodes that had some sleep paralysis stuff in it, that all of it... Fuck. And it wasn't until I heard one of your episodes that had some sleep paralysis stuff in it, did it all come crashing back in from the recesses of my mind. So, thanks a fucking lot for helping that little gem resurface.
Sorry about that.
Honestly, though, I haven't ever tried to figure out what all that was about for fear it might come back. I'm not one to scare very easily, and I'd rather football punt a chipmunk into a wood chipper, what the fuck, than go through all that again. Okay, disclaimer, I would never do that, as I absolutely adore animals.
I'm happy for that disclaimer.
Also, it is kind of reassuring knowing others have had similar things happen, and I'm not just a lunatic. I will say I've never ever heard of anyone else having shared an experience like the one Steph and I had gone through. Maybe a first ever. I am, of course, that special, obviously, so very possible.
That's funny.
Seriously, though, if anyone else has had a shared sleep paralysis experience, I think it would be kind of cool to hear about, be it on the podcast or in the Facebook group. But that's the end of the story. I hope you've been thoroughly entertained and freaked out at the same time. I have more stories to send your way, and for sure will. Feel free to share them when you're able. Also, I would apologize for the length of my story, but I'm not gonna. It's pretty fucking interesting. And I'll never apologize for entertaining the masses.
Wow.
I sincerely hope 2023 has big things in store for you both, and look forward to hopefully hearing my story being shared.
Nice. You kind of trailed off at the end there, but it's cool.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story.
That's horrifying.
I would rather see Lilith than this person that came through this mirror.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. They sound very similar. Like, when I say Lilith, we are obviously joking around about it. Sounds like the character from Diablo 4, Lilith,
yes,
who has a different origin story. Lilith obviously has an origin story within, like, you know, I think Judaism and Christianity, if I'm not mistaken, because it's from, like, the origins of, like, human beings in general, Genesis, all that fun stuff. I think it's part of that book. But either way, like, it's a horrifying story, man. Like, it's sad that we made him remember this, and I feel bad about that. But at the same time, like, you know, now you're aware, so you can be careful, I guess is the best way to put it, and to steal your mind in case something like this were to happen again. And who knows, maybe other people, I've never ever thought to look up shared sleep paralysis experiences. Oh. So I've just assumed that they don't happen.
Yeah.
But the fact that we've heard about one now means that I'm very curious in finding out if there has been more, and if anyone else out there has a story like that, we would definitely like to hear it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Charles, one more time for sending that in. It was horrifying. All right. That is the last story of this. Stop fucking around with the mouse. You already accidentally closed one thing. I was literally clicking X. You came this close to turning off the recording. God, I'm taking this away from you. No, you can keep it. All right. Thank you so much to everyone who hung out with us. I'm B-Trainer, redeemed a high five 20 minutes ago. Ow.
My coworker is like, I refuse to high five you now.
Because she heard how loud you high five?
No, because I high fived her. And she was just like,
because you were a dick about it?
Jesus. Because I think I high fived one of my other coworkers, and they were like, damn, what the fuck? And so then she was like,
sorry, I'm used to abusing Adam.
And then she's like, I gotta high five me. I gotta, see what this is like. And she's like, oh my God, no, never again.
Robin's the kid who plays too rough. She's the kid who, like, when you hang out with, all of a sudden does something where you're just like, why would you do that? And it's like, cause it's fun. All right. Anyways, we're gonna play marbles on stream. How many do you want to do? We shouldn't do 2. That's all I'll say. We might want to do 4.
No. We have 11 people in chat right now. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
I think 2 is enough.
All right, we're going to switch over.
Glitch said something about for real, no cap.
That's awesome. Okay, hang on. Don't mess with the mouse quite yet. Please. I got to get this stuff set up. All right. So, in order for us to race, you guys have to vote on a track. The way to do that, exclamation point vote, then a space, and the number that corresponds to the track that you want to race. I will let you go ahead and take that over, and I'm gonna vote.
Senya says my bedroom in the basement, or my bedroom is in the basement too. What? Why do you guys have your little bedrooms in the basement? It's freaking crazy.
Your minis look fucking awesome, Glitch.
Oh, that's
this
cool.
appears to be an Aarakocra or a Raven person. It's hard to tell.
Glitch says respectfully, fuck that guy.
I think it's in regards to the guy who was giving me shit for Sons of Sam.
Yeah, because
he has like a bunch of stuff that he's done on the show, and it's on like Son of Sam, and it's like, sorry if you never watched that documentary, dog. Like, I don't know why you fucking taking it out on me, but.
Aw, IB Trainer says, I'm so sad we missed that part of the trip because my back was giving me so much pain. Yeah, I remember, like, even I had to sit down at some points because
my
it was
feet
just...
hurt so much because no, I had thrown my back out. That's what it was. Your feet were the ones that
my
were
feet
fucked
hurt
up.
really bad.
Yeah, my back was fucking aching.
At one point, I was like, "Can we please Uber back because I cannot walk anymore." My pinky toe was like gonna fall off.
I'm pretty sure as soon as you said that, other people were like, "We would also like to Uber."
Let's see. Glitch says, "Has anyone seen the NPC streams? What the fuck is going on in the world? NPC streams?"
Oh yeah, they're fucking stupid.
Where
if people
are
pretending they're
pretending
NPCs,
to be NPCs.
Stefan was sharing it with us because Stefan is Google, and he wanted to keep us informed.
I was watching one for a girl that does porn, and people would be like,
you can see, move around. I think she might want to go OUT right now.
Do you want to go outside?
She just wants to hang out.
She just wants
She's
to hang out.
so cute, guys. This corgi is the most adorable. Keep going, I'm sorry.
And people would be like, I think they pay for emojis or something like that, and so they'd send different emojis, and if it was food, she would like pretend to eat the food. Yeah. I've
seen a few of these people, and it's just like, the fact that they're making money doing it. It's so annoying. Alright, Scaryish Podcast, Twitch, here we go.
Oh god, no. Now it's gonna double up. I'm Listener says, I was really expecting to hear, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
From the whispering. Oh shit, shout out to Malem who just subscribed for the 33rd month, putting money back on my pocket.
I'm Listener says, I'm saving up 20k points to redeem 20 high fives at once.
Her hands will break down before
Glitch
mine.
said, Hero Forge is the best, and yes, a month.
I have so many characters on Hero Forge, but I just like incorporate them into my Roll20 or whatever thing I'm using by downloading the PNG, and holy shit is it awesome. I have close to 100 characters that I've made, and I'll usually just go to community and search something, and if I can't find it, then I'll make it myself, but it's really nice to always have some sort of representation of the character you're playing. What up, Chunkster? She said, oops, I'm late. Resubscribe. Oh no, there's more. Resubscribe for the 24th month, says Les Meows. Woo! Trash Panda 17 resubscribe for the 3rd month. We read your mom's story today. Thank you so much. We're going to thank her. We already thanked her on the pod. We're going to thank her again by email and let her know. Thank you so much for reaching out to us. And that there's going to be 2 episodes that we're going to take from today's broadcast. And then whichever day it comes out, I will hopefully be letting her know in advance. Hey, it's going to be on episode blah, 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 blah. So thank you so much for convincing your mom to send the stories. They were really good. All right.
Sherry Sue voted 47 for my birthday that she just turned.
Nice.
47.
I also voted 47 for your birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
All right, y'all. I think 47 is going to be the track we're racing. Right now, Portal Alley is in the lead. We're going to scroll and just check these out rather than wait for it to cycle back. Yeah, it looks like 47 has the most votes. So, 3 minutes and 25 seconds on average to complete it. World record time is 29 seconds, so something's broken with this map.
Hype Train,
locally,
we're at 94%. If we get more subs, gifts, hype chat, or bits, we could get to 100%.
Locally, we've never raced this before, so whoever wins today will set the Scaryish record for how fast this is completed. Jumping into the race.
Oh, look at these cuties. They look like little squishmallows.
They updated the system that this runs on, and it's actually working really well. So, we're going to do a few things. First of all, type in !play to get your marble ready to go.
Okay.
Second thing, since we're only going to do 2 races, I'm going to go ahead and set up a prediction so you guys can decide whether or not you think Robin's going to finish ahead of me or I'm going to finish ahead of Robin. Not first place, just which one of us is going to finish ahead. Start prediction. Who will last longer / rank better? Start prediction. You guys got 2 minutes to make that prediction. And since that started, now I'm going to start the 2-minute countdown. So we got 2 minutes from now. We only have 8 marbles in the race. Super sad. Heartbreaking. One of them's me. One of them's Robin. That means we only have 6 friends. One of them's Robin's aunt. We only have 5 friends. One family member feels obligated to be here because she's so wonderful. But either way.
IMB Trainer says, we got some scary stuff from Robin for our Patreon level. We love the sticker magnet. I'm glad you guys got them. Because sometimes I worry that people aren't getting them. But I'm glad you guys are getting them. I am designing something new. Because someone, I forget if it was in the Discord or if it was on Facebook, the Facebook group, but they were saying like a TV. Like if there was, like a ghost in the machine type of thing. So ghosts coming out of the TV. And so that's why I'm designing this new design for. And then I'm still trying to design something fun for the mugs, for the awards, for the prizes,
I was describing the creative process of making Chunkster's dice earlier, I think before Chunkster arrived, but very excited.
And I was there says, to answer your question, Robin, no, the beach is not close to us here in Ohio. I don't know where the Great Lakes are, so I don't know how that works out.
I mean, Ohio touches one of the Great Lakes, but I mean, maybe even 2. I know it touches Erie for sure, but it depends on where they are in Ohio.
Chunkster asked if anyone did the Barbenheimer. I really want to go see Oppenheimer.
I think we might go see him this weekend. Because I really want to see Oppenheimer. I'm interested in seeing Barbie. I've heard really good things on it. But people were telling me that Oppenheimer is just like mind-blowing. So I definitely want to see it. I love Christopher Nolan. So I always say Cillian Murphy, but I've recently heard him called Killian Murphy. So I'm going to call him Killian Murphy. Killian Murphy's an amazing actor. RDJR is in it too. So
Robert Downey Jr.
Yep. Indeed.
Why do you say RDJR? Isn't it RDJ?
Because he's a junior. Why would it be RDJ? He's a junior.
Everyone says RDJ.
Can you move your coconut water so that I can control this stuff? Thank ya. And away we go with only 8 marbles participating. Oh, thank the Lord. I thought I was not going to be able to control this. 911 girl jumps out to an early lead. Never mind. Trash Pandas and me got down there before she did. So this is a lot of portals and shit. Let's just follow first place and see what happens. I am gone. That stinks.
Chunkster says, Ohio is a great state to drive in because no mountains.
It's true.
Wow.
Sherry Sue is in first place right now. So we're going to follow first place because this is just a lot of accelerating and crashing into shit. Which is going to make it take forever. Oh, and you can teleport. That's why someone was probably able to... This dog is licking my foot.
Oh, that's cool. IMB Trainer says there are lakes designed for swimming an hour and a half away. So that's
What's
cool.
Winner has fallen off. And someone else teleported. Oh my god, Chunkster just launched.
Nope.
And
Goodbye.
is gone. Chunkster is also gone. So we only have 5 marbles left. The odds. So, okay, cool. So I'm gone. So whoever voted for me to finish or last longer... lost. Including me. I bet all my points on myself. 911 girl also just fell off. Yeah, she's been licking my foot. Someone just flew off as well. That was Glitch. Glitch is gone. There's 3 people left, y'all. 3. Trash Panda, who's apparently in first place.
Chunkster says, I saw a group of girls who watched Barbie and were doing the drink tour. I'll post a video on Discord. There's a drink tour.
Didn't know that. Also, there's only 2 marbles left, Sherry Sue and Robin, and that is it. So what I will say is, even if Sherry Sue falls off because she lasted longer, Sherry Sue is going to claim the prize for the first race.
Oh, God.
Feel like that's fair?
That's fair.
And
goodbye.
No one survived. Robin lasted the longest. Robin does not claim the prize. Sherry Sue, congratulations. You will claim the prize for the first race. That one was very difficult.
Ohio's at the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. I didn't know that.
Appalachian are like right there. Race menu, so we can vote on a new track. All right, start the voting again. I would vote not the same track.
Yeah, I'm gonna say some random number. Hashtag or no exclamation point. Vote. I don't know. Yes.
You voted your age, didn't you?
No, I'm older than that.
Oh, thank God. So I voted 38, and I was like, she's not 6 years younger than me, is she?
No, I'm older than that.
All right.
You forgot how old I was?
Just briefly, that brief shining moment.
If I were 32, I'd be happy. Because I'd be younger. Oh, our hype train completed level 1 at 94%. So close, but no cigar.
So close. Man, it's been a long stream. It's been a long day. Anyways, here's Wonderwall.
Here's Wonderwall.
So we have some votes, and there's a like 6-way tie right now. So if we don't have a tie by the time it scrolls back to 59, I'm just gonna randomize the track.
So did you hand out everyone their points for who won?
I did not. Let me go do that right now. Good call.
It was 5K versus 5.2K.
Choose a prediction outcome.
Wow.
Choose outcome. Robin. Complete prediction. Congratulations to whoever voted on Robin, to whoever voted on me. I'm sorry I let you down. Again. Alright, that was all my points. Start a prediction. I'm going to start this prediction early. Same thing. Do you think it's going to be me or Robin who lasts longer? Going to give you 2 minutes to predict it. We don't even know what track we're on, but realistically, doesn't matter. Alright.
Well, it's voted for 1 for each of the tracks, so.
I know. I mentioned that.
Yeah.
I said, thanks, Adam, in all caps. I'm sorry, I tried. I tried so hard and I got so far.
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
Alright. Fun stuff. Fun in the sun. Alright.
It's cool seeing how many people have the little 1-year ghost.
Yeah. We are now back to 59. We're randomizing the track. It is multi-lane madness. Average time, minute 47. Record time, minute 25. Locally, average time, minute 50. Record time is Glitch. And a minute 36. Chase that record, knock Glitch off his perch.
Welcome, Xena Knight. Thank you for joining us.
What up? Thank you for being here. Exclamation point play to get your marble on the stream and get a chance to win a sticker. All right, gonna start the countdown right now. Get this thing rolling.
Man, just smell that Guinness. Smells good though.
There's 96% of the votes for me right now.
Damn.
Is that 23,000 or 2.3? It's gotta be 2.3.
Yeah. No, is it?
I don't know. It's hard to read. My phone is fucking cracked.
Oh yeah.
Someone hit my phone with her elbows.
Yeah, you guys should see it.
Second year in a row.
Can you guys?
My phone has been broken.
Can you guys see
at Comic-Con.
his cracked screen here? It's all like, oh, I guess you.
Yeah, you can see it.
You can see it. It's all fucked.
I just like it was slow motion as soon as her elbow hit my phone.
I just saw his phone go face first into the ground.
I was like, "Are you kidding?" Because last year I had just gotten this phone and I dropped it and it cracked in a very similar fashion. So it's just like Comic-Con is cursed for my phones. So, anyways, I wonder if I can check prediction stuff here. Oh, I can.
Damn, no one voted for me. Fuck.
Well, 2 people did. And the thing is if you win, it's 80 to 20, so it's going to pay out 4 to 1. Actually, it's 4.88 to 1. Summary? Oh, yeah, show me. I want to know. I'm What's It Doing? I'm Beef Trainer voted for Robin. Glitch, 911 Girl, Trash Pandas, and Sherry Sue all voted for me. You're all wonderful humans. In 30 seconds, we'll see if I disappoint you or not. Gonna close that out.
I hope I win.
I know you do. Because you're evil.
Yeah, but it would be such a good payout.
Yeah, for them. Not for the people who voted for me. They would lose money. And by money, I mean ghosties or... What do you call them?
I don't even know what they're called anymore.
I think we call them souls. I think it's ghosties. All right.
Oh, I thought you were trying to hold my hand.
I was trying to get your hand on top of my hand while I do this, but all right. And away we go. Let's turn around and check out the stream. Excuse me, check out the track.
Multi-lanes of madness.
Yep, lots of multi-lanes. Let's watch the jump and see who gets here first. It says Trash Pandas is in the lead. And indeed, Trash Pandas is. They make the jump successfully along with I'm What's for Dinner. There goes me. There goes 911 Girl. Lots of folks.
Oh, what the heck?
IMB Trainer and Robin are trying to skip to the end.
Yeah, you could see them explode down there. Did you see
I like the death animation. Trash Pandas, you have an adorable dog. Glitch is in second place. Looks like Xena Knight and Chunkster are in third and fourth. Actually, it's hard to tell who's in fourth or third and fourth because of like the way the track has 4 separate lanes. You don't really know.
Trash Pandas is way ahead.
Trash Pandas is pretty far ahead right now. I don't know what that ball is. I think it's Glitch Grimm's ghost ball. Sherry Sue has fallen off the track, unfortunately, leaving only 7 remaining. I'm going to scooch forward and look at the track a little bit. Looks like we got a fan blade. We got some loop-de-loops leading to the end, so we're getting pretty close. Trash Panda still has a lead.
Oh my god.
They clear this fairly well. Oh, nope.
Nope.
That's the ghost ball. Oh, there I am.
Oh, come on.
Trying to come through for all the people that voted for me. Well, Robin already fell off, so I already won. Congratulations to everyone who voted for me. Unfortunately, Trash Pandas did get caught up in that fan blade and is now in last place. And it looks like Xena Knight is running right behind me, and I'm What's for Dinner is right behind Xena Knight.
Man, Trash Pandas was in the
cruising.
Lead for so
that
long.
Goddamn fan blade ruined everything. I'm chasing Glitch's record, y'all. Look at this. We're chasing history.
You know what's funny is like Xena Knight's like just got home from work, hopped into the stream, won.
Okay, Xena Knight did win. Congratulations. I'm wondering if I beat Glitch's record. Probably not, though. I think Glitch's ball got in there first time. What's for Dinner finishes third. Here comes Chunkster to finish fourth. Trash Pandas looks like they are going to finish fifth, as long as nothing else happens. It's hard to tell because, like, when you loop to loop, you like go backwards, and so like the way it tracks whether or not you're in first place changes. Trash Panda is going to take fifth. Sixth is 911 Girl, and Glitch. We're just hoping Glitch finishes before that fiery wave of death approaches.
I don't even see it.
It's not showing up, which is weird, but either way, Glitch, you finished 7th. Congratulations on collecting, well, not some points, but you collected some dignity. Shout out to me. I'm awesome. I got 23 points in the season. Xena Knight goes up to 19. I'm What's for Dinner goes up to 14. Don't forget to go over to Robin's Kawaii Corner, find yourself a Scaryish sticker, and yeah, say, hey, this is the one I want. You just reach out to us, say, this is the one I want, and here's where you can send it, and we will do just that. I'm going to pay out the people who believed in me. Thank you so much. One day, maybe I'll be able to do that in real life, too. Ow.
Sorry. I had a dog.
You're so cute. She loves her so much more than me, and it is infuriating. I raised you alone for the first 4 months of your life. This bitch. Snubbed! And she just keeps turning and licking her face. Take that. Alright, I'm going to bring us back to the normal camera. Might mute the mics. It did, but I fixed it right away, so. This is Anya. She's technically not a puppy anymore, but she still acts like a puppy. She is, I don't know, 1 year, 2 months. We're rapidly approaching her adoption date. In 2 days, we are going to hit Yui's death day. So, that'll be sad. Love me. We're going to do the outro for episode 200, and then we're going to wrap this thing up, y'all. We're going to let you guys get back to your Friday night. And we're going to probably go eat, watch some Ghosts, because that show kicks ass. And I don't know. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Going to mark it. We're going to do this outro apparently with Robin holding on to the dog the whole time. I'm going to actually close out Marbles on stream so that I can actually see the recording and make sure everything's good there. Quit. Close. Recording's fine. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Marking it. All right, I think that's just about everything we have for super special episode 200. Joining us at the end of the episode is our wonderful corgi, Anya, who if you hear whining, heavy breathing, or licking of any various surface is coming from her. She is adorable. She just want to come by and say hi. Thank you to everyone who sent your emails. If you have any story you would like to share with us, please feel free to reach out to us by emailing storytime@scaryish.com or going to the website scaryish.com. click on Contact Us, fill out the form. It does come directly to us. We still get lots of emails that way, and we appreciate it. If any of you would like to reach out via social media, Facebook is facebook.com/ScarishPodcast. Twitter is @ScarishPod. Instagram is @ScarishPodcast. And Threads is @ScarishPod, I think. That's just about everything. Robin, for folks who would like to donate to us, how can they do so?
You can go to patreon.com/ScarishPodcast. Those are monthly donations with tiers starting at $1. You can also go to coffee, ko-fi.com/ScarishPodcast for those that are just into the one-time donations.
That's everything we got. Thank you so much, y'all, for 200 episodes of Storytime. It's been a blast, and we will keep this thing going as long as we have emails to read. So keep sending them. Ask your friends, ask your family members, especially your older family members, grandparents, great-grandparents. They're going to have some crazy stories for you that you could never anticipate, and have that conversation because it's a fun time. That's the best advice that I can give you from all the things that we've learned doing these. And it's everything we got for you for this episode. So, Robin, why don't you go ahead and sign us out?
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.